Ordinary P. Actual first. The actual first. There's no debate. There's no debating. Ordinary P here first. OP. The original poster in the chat. You down with OP? Ordinary P. Look at Caimon from the get. I haven't even read the title, but I'm here for it. It's I was a little bit confused when I was looking it up because it says Derrick Lewis versus Sergey Spivak, but then something else said Derrick Lewis versus Sergey Pavlovich. I guess that's another Sergey or whatever. But yeah, I'm just doing a Mexican fight companion. I mean, Derrick Lewis, dude goes from the being a contender to these Apex fights. I mean, I kind of forgot for a moment what it's like. These I almost called it preliminary. Like when it's these fights that's not a main card, it kind of feels like even the main event is like a prelim fight, you know? It just has that feel. And when I was setting up, I was kind of noticing like the arena and everything, how it's like all empty and dead. It looked like almost like Mark Zuckerberg rented it out again. It's a ghost town. It's sad. Derrick Lewis goes from like almost the highest of the highest. I know he never actually had the title, but just being up there fighting for it, being in those big old pay-per-views, and now he's over here at the Apex. And it goes back and forth. Like I feel like Derrick Lewis is on that merry-go-round, you know? It's like I feel like we've seen this before where he's on one of these like not popular cards. Then he gets a big old flash knockout out of nowhere, and then everyone's like, oh, he's so dangerous. And then they give him a main event on a big event. And then they're like, oh, yeah, that fool has a bad back and doesn't know how to. He fights like the heavyweight Justin Gaethje. That's kind of like Derrick Lewis is the heavyweight Justin Gaethje. And it's like he gets a big knockout, and then everyone forgets that that's the only hope he has. And then when it happens, they're like, oh, let's send this fool back to a Apex fight. Then he gets a big knockout, and they're like, oh, but he could do that. He always has a puncher's chance. And then they put him in a main event for a title or something. And then they're like, oh, but like 9 times out of 10, that's not going to happen. Let's put him at the Apex again. And then he gets a big knockout. Oh, let's put him against Nogano. Like, I feel like that always happens. That's like the life cycle of Derrick Lewis. And then in between there, you scatter some of his memes. Beto, Grandmaster, I was just watching one of your old live streams, and all of a sudden you came through in real time. Hey, good to see you, Beto. Hey, that blows my mind right there. I don't know. You're like the only person that's going back and watching old streams. That's insane. I could understand going back and watching like a short or a breakdown, but a stream? That's hardcore right there. Those are some deep cuts. I wanted to let you guys know also, I was so frustrated with myself. And a lot of you guys are probably scratching your beanies like, what is he doing? The last Mexican fight companion I did, I was playing that video with the music for some of the donations. And I sped up the song like crazy. And usually that allows you to avoid any types of problems. It made the music way faster, and it changed the pitch significantly. But I still got hit with crazy copyright strikes. So the video got muted, like a big old chunk in the middle. Like the majority of the video got muted, and everyone was like, what happened after the fact? So I re-exported a whole other version, and I went ahead and left the music because I was like, I'm just not even going to monetize this one. And I pinned it in the first comment. So if anyone had any desire at all whatsoever to see any of that last stream, I pinned an actual watchable version in the top comment that you could see in there. But that was annoying. That was a big mistake. I shouldn't have ever used that song. I'm gonna have to find another track because I like doing that little thing I did, and I want to do some more edits. I want to make like multiples. If you were here last time, you know what I'm talking about. I want to have fun with the stream like that. But the way I did it last time was not smart. What's up, Action Jackson? Thank you, Joe Fish. I like putting it out when it feels like people are actually watching it. That feels good. When I put it out and nobody sees it, then I just feel crazy and like, what am I doing? Sensei Seth! Sensei Seth in the chat. I'm kind of convinced Derrick Lewis doesn't like to fight in front of people. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that fool has performance anxiety or something like that. I had a homie like that. He had to go to therapy. But yeah, I mean, some people are like that. You know, we hear the legends of these fools that are like dojo warriors, you know, and you hear like, man, I don't care who it is in the dojo, he's taking everyone. He's taking people 3-4 at a time. He's like Cosmo Kramer in there. He's dominating. But then you put him under the lights, you put him in front of the cameras and stuff, and he just freezes up. Like literally, his back freezes up. And so that's a very likely possibility. I appreciate that, Saya. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have it every time. Every time, I'm not gonna disappoint. Ryan Holiday, I don't know if you're messing with me because of the type of performance that was from both individuals. I think that's a joke. I think that's a joke. If not, okay, touche. But I think you're joking. Um, um, J Cube 21, Derrick Lewis up and down like gas prices. Yeah, I mean, if you're a Derrick Lewis fan, I feel sorry for you. That fool is always gonna be giving you a stomach ache. That's how I felt like being like Michelle Watterson fan, you know? That was like the same trajectory that like her and Holly Holmes was on for the longest, and it was weird because they're like teammates and everything. Hey, has anybody heard anything about Laura Stanko? And for real, I'm not even trying to stir anything up or anything, but I saw this fool right here, the Pelon, the dude in the blue shorts. Supposedly he's from Glory MMA, and James Krause is his coach, but James Krause didn't show up. I'm like, oh, is that fool trying to stay out of the spotlight because of all the drama and stuff? And I know a lot of you MMA heads, like a lot of you fantasy football type MMA heads, consume a lot more MMA content than me. So I don't know if she's been making the rounds and stuff. No pun intended. But I haven't seen anything of Laura lately. Is she staying low as well? Nope. Or is she still out there putting in work? No. I don't know how to talk about this. All right, I don't know how to address this. She made it too difficult. But I thought it was interesting that James Krause wasn't here for his guy. And it's like, is she laying low too? No. All right, I'm going to stop. What's up, Street Beef Scrapyard? Ryan Holiday, GM, you got to release those streams on Truth Social. They're not nearly as strict on copyright stuff. I have learned that about other platforms. And, you know, their day will probably come when they start to get more popular and start to get advertisers and stuff like that. But I have heard that a lot of the other websites are a lot more lenient with stuff like that. So that is a plus. That is a plus that they have. That's true. I'm just, at the same time, though, I'm a little bit apprehensive because I have dabbled a little bit. And considered putting content on different platforms because they do have their pros, you know. But at the same time, as much as I hate it, YouTube is the only one that gives that, you know, it's just they might burn you left and right and it's frustrating, but it's still by far the highest level monetization. And if I'm trying to hear what this fool is saying. He's going on and on to the camera right now. He's running his mouth. If I'm gonna be trying to pay my bills, I gotta have the videos on a platform that's paying at the highest level, you know. And like, why try to get someone to watch it somewhere else without that? You know, I'm just kind of like shooting myself in the chancla at that point. Michael Fieri, I am here and I brought a friend. Oh snap! He brought a friend. +1. +1. Mike Alfieri gifted. Is that who you're gifting it to? Mike Alfieri stays gifting on the 12th day of Christmas. Alfieri gifted somebody. Logan. Logan Cole. Logan Cole was gifted a membership by Mike Alfieri. I don't know if that's the homie or if that's random. But congratulations, Logan Cole. Welcome. Mike Alfieri stays giving. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Oh, I was trying to find out what was going on with Kraus and Sanko. What's going on here? Sanko got Kraus in trouble with Dana. Oh, snap. Dana got jealous or what? Stanko was like, have you ever heard of the Grandmaster? Hey, I don't know nothing about her. I don't even open my DMs. I don't know nothing about nothing. You stay. You need to stay a whole full Gerard Gordeau salute away from me. You need to stay back. I don't want no Stanko. Stanko's on hiatus. All of a sudden. Sanko or Olivier, who's better? Like at what? At their job? Look, I've had my times where I've had my differences, and I'll clown on Olivia and stuff like that. But she, as far as I'm confirmed, she's very, very, very professional. A lot of no. Oh my gosh. Derrick Lewis fight just got canceled. Oh my gosh. Derrick Lewis just got canceled. Hey, Sensei Seth, I guess you were right. I guess you were right. That fool doesn't like to fight in front of people. Supposedly, he just came out and said that somebody, I don't know if it was him or someone on his team, got COVID. Just go blow your nose real quick, fool. Oh my gosh. You're in Las Vegas. There's no COVID in Las Vegas. What are you talking about? You think this is Oregon or what? You think this is California? There ain't no COVID in Las Vegas. Are they even in Las Vegas right now? Where are they at? Where's this fight at? Where's the main event at? They are in Las Vegas, aren't they? Derrick Lewis versus Sergey Spivak. Location. Send location. It's in Vegas. What are you guys talking about? Ain't no COVID in Vegas. Oh, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Supposedly someone from, all they said was someone from the Derrick Lewis side. They didn't say specifically Derrick Lewis. They said, we have unfortunate news for you and we're sad to tell you, blah, blah, blah. Someone from the Derrick Lewis team, someone from the Derrick Lewis side, but they didn't say who it was. Hey, the music started blasting. What happened? I think I was trying to hear what was going on over here and I blasted the wrong volume. Now the feed's going out. Now the camera got COVID. Oh my gosh. What are you doing? They went to commercial. What happened? Okay, now it came back. Okay, this is glitching on me. This is glitching on me. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. This is embarrassing. Felder said non-COVID reasons. What the heck? I didn't even catch that because I was too busy telling you guys what happened. So the first guy, what's his name? I always forget that fool's name. You know how it's Bisping and Felder and the other guy? Who's the other guy? I have never once in my life remembered his name. He said that someone from the Lewis team, some COVID exposure thing or COVID something. So why would Felder say non-COVID? What's going on? That's what I was thinking. Ordinary Pete. There's no crying. How does it? I can't do Tom Hanks. There's no crying. I don't, he has like that. He has like that twang, you know. I can't believe this. They have a replacement fight already. They've been planning this. They've been planning this from the get. They were just trying to get us to watch this event. Derrick Lewis had no intention of ever fighting, did they? Did he? They had already paid him. They already paid him just to be on the poster. Michael Fitzgerald, that fool. Man, that fool is so forgettable. I've never ever remembered that fool's name. Hey, for real, Ordinary Pete. I've wondered about that before because back in the day, like, because I haven't been here in this neighborhood too long. I remember my neighbor was always like real friendly. He's like some really old dude, really nice guy, always like chopping it up and stuff. And he was like that fool from Home Improvement, just like looking over the fence when we were talking stuff. And then I started like really getting it more and more going with the channel and streaming and stuff. And I'd start to do like these 5-6 hour streams, just like screaming and stuff. Um, fools like Conor McGregor and Adesanya getting knocked out and whatnot, and just me getting all excited. And I noticed that fool started to be like really distant and not trying to communicate and stuff. And I was like, that fool probably thinks I'm crazy, or maybe he's a Conor and Adesanya fan and he's just mad at me now. Maybe he unsubscribed to me like in real life. Um, Wait, is it Michael Fitzgerald or Brandon Fitzgerald? I'm seeing both names. And now someone's saying Brian Fitzgerald. Nobody. I got a hiccup while I was laughing. That was trippy. Look at how unforgettable this fool is. Nobody remembers his name. Is it Brandon? Is it Michael? Is it Brian? Nobody knows who this fool is. Someone says Chandler Fitzgerald. Max Steel, they might as well just end this fight night for real. For real. That's what I was thinking right away. This is like when they sell you those like mystery boxes like at the store and they put like all the popular faces on the little toy and then you open it up and it's like some fool you never heard of. Derrick Lewis was never my friend. Someone says Steven Fitzgerald. What's his name? Cudelabra is now the main event. Um, because he knew Spivak would choke him out. It's Brian. It's Brandon. Um, Edmund Fitzgerald. Brett Fitzgerald. Gerald Fitzbrian. Anderson Fitzgerald. It's actually Gerald Fitzgerald. Poopsie Fitzwilly. Nurgalamedov Fitzgerald. Ay ay ay. Conor McGregor Fitzgerald. All right, let's see what's really going on. Um, let's see what's really going on right now. Whitey, Whitey Fitzgerald. Let's see what's actually going on right now. Derrick Lewis. Oh, snap. Derrick Lewis hospitalized. Derrick Lewis hospitalized. UFC Fight Night 215 headliner versus Sergey Spivak canceled mid-event. Las Vegas UFC. I'm reading from the MMA flunky right now. Has been canceled. Lewis was hospitalized on the day of the event, forcing the promotion to scratch the heavyweight headliner with Spivak at the UFC Apex, according to cage side announcer Whitey Fitzgerald. It's Whitey! It's actually Whitey! You were right! What was your name? What was your name? Whoever said that, you got it right. Announcer Whitey Fitzgerald on the UFC Fight Night 215 broadcast. Lewis was forced out. Hey, all right, look it. Look it. I'm a man of integrity, all right? I'm a man of integrity. And I'm willing to admit when I was wrong. All right. I'm willing to admit when I was wrong. And this is gonna only enhance and deepen our relationship right now, all right? Because this is where you learn. This is where you learn that this is actually the MMA truth and nothing but the MMA truth. All right. I was wrong. I obviously was trying to listen too quickly and things got jumbled. And apparently, Whitey Fitzgerald said that he was forced out because of a non-COVID, non-weight cutting illness. So apparently, I was correct. There is no COVID in Las Vegas to this day. So I am relieved to be exposed to that news. At least that was very frustrating and confusing. But you know what I think is very interesting? Why say that? Is that the world that we're living into? It is the world that we're living in. What am I talking about? I know that's true. The fact that Whitey Fitzgerald had to say, "Oh, the fight was canceled. Lewis got, he had to pull out because of a non-COVID thing." Why do you have to say that? That's like if someone's playing a soccer game and they get injured and they have to sit out, and everyone's like, "Hey, it's all right. It's a non-COVID related injury." Like, why do you have to say that? Who cares? Who said it was COVID related? Nobody was even saying that. Now you're making me think it does have something to do with that. What's the point of bringing that up? As a result of the change, the originally scheduled co-main event between Kennedy Neskuchuwu and Ion Kurulaba was elevated to the final fight on the card. Okay, so they got no one to fight Spivak. That dude just has to sit it out. They're just moving up. So we didn't get an alternate fight. They're just moving up the co-main to the main. Okay, well, I think that's weird, and Whitey, I think is very weird that you even had to mention that it's non-COVID related, because that's how false news spreads. Because you said all I heard was COVID, and when you say that, it just made me think that it was COVID related. Well, not that I actually thought that, but I know I'm saying that that's the narrative. But that's ridiculous. So what's wrong with them? They're not even going to tell us what's going on. Derrick Lewis in the hospital. I mean, I guess I just saw an old link right now. I'm looking up Derrick Lewis in the hospital, and it brought up some old stuff right now that actually is regarding Ariel Helwani. Derrick Lewis says that he currently has a life or death medical issue that's been building up for over a year. He did not state what it was, but said that it happens to a lot of athletes regardless of their health. His doctors told him not to fight on Saturday. This was something from 3 years ago. I don't remember what that was. Do you guys remember them talking about what the actual issue was? I wonder if this is like a recurring thing that he's often dealing with. I wonder if it's something that came back. On Saturday's broadcast, it was announced that Lewis suffered an illness that forced him to go to the hospital. He was not cleared to compete Saturday. Wow. Come on, Derrick hospitalized. Hey, what if it actually came? What if that fool spoke it into existence and he actually did overheat? Remember, he said that it wasn't even true. Do you guys remember that? That he said later that they weren't even hot, that he was just trying to be funny. What if he actually made it happen? Mega Valencia, this is non-COVID related support. What? What? For reals, that's how it is. It's like, why do they even got to talk about it? One more Dana Fist Whitey. It doesn't make any sense. That's like right now, Maya knocks out this other girl, and they're like, it was a non-COVID related knockout. I don't understand. Man. Yeah, Joker. I mentioned that earlier. I messed up. I shouldn't have played some audio that I was playing during that stream and then muted like my entire stream. Now that stream was like a 5 hour plus stream. So I don't expect anyone to ever have any desire to go back and watch it because it's just too long. There's just no playability there. Live streams are really just for the moment. But if anyone ever did want to go and see a certain moment from it or whatever, I actually, if you go to that video that got muted, the Adesanya Pereira Mexican fight companion, the top pinned comment, I re-uploaded the video and it's not muted at all. So you can watch it. If you had any desire to see any certain section from it, because I know no one's going to watch the whole thing, it's in the top pinned comment, a link to a video that doesn't have any muting at all. So it's there. Positive manifestation. My love to Miami. Miami in the house. Welcome to Miami. How's your week been, Grandmaster? You know what was kind of scary? I woke up one day and I saw that I had several $100s missing from my YouTube earnings. And I was terrified because I was counting on every penny. And I was going back and forth with YouTube trying to figure out what was going on. And they actually fixed it. Congratulations to them. I spent a lot of time over the years getting ignored and pushed around and stuff like that. They actually fixed it and that felt good, so good for them for doing the right thing. Other than that, I've been working on putting a breakdown together. I've just been staying busy, just work. I hope your week has been going better than mine. I hope you have a little bit more downtime. You blame Gracie's jiu-jitsu? I do too. Whatever it's regarding, I do as well. Non-COVID related flat tire. Bunch of new homies in the Discord. Orale. That's what's up. I want it to be alive for you guys. I want it to be a good time in there. Juice box. It's got to be his kidneys from his weight cut. I don't understand. Like maybe some of you guys. I know a lot of people are like sold on weight classes. A lot of people think that it's very important and whatever. So I know you'll have something to say, but I don't understand why heavyweights need to cut. I feel like if you made it that far, if you're a heavyweight, go for it. I don't care if you come in 400 pounds. If you're a heavyweight, you're a heavyweight. I think it's pretty ridiculous that they're making heavyweights cut weight. It's just so weird. It's very, very weird. I mean, I feel like if you're a heavyweight that's on the lower end, just the fact that you're a heavyweight, you should be able to compete with people that are like way heavier. Because I mean, even at that point, you're fighting like what's that fool's name, Emmanuel Yarborough or something like. You're fighting a fool like that. I mean, when they get so big, they're not even that mobile anymore. So it kind of evens out. So if you're like 220 pounds, I don't think you should be afraid to fight someone that's like 385. Because that fool could probably hardly even trot around the ring. I know, like, well, what if he falls on top of me or what? Like, I don't know. You're a fighter, fool. Figure it out. Don't be scared. But it might be. They did say it was also a non-weight cut, but who knows? They're just gonna say whatever. Of course, the UFC is not gonna want to highlight the fact that weight cutting is dangerous. What are they gonna say? He shouldn't have cut weight, even though we promote it and don't let fools fight, and we take money away from them when they miss weight. It doesn't make any sense. The Hawaiian 5 style got slept by the Gracies. Are you talking about Taylor Tooley? What do you think about Bellator? I don't know. I think there's I'm not gonna pretend that I watch it, but from what I've seen, I talk about this all the time, whether it's Bellator or ONE FC. The thing that I do appreciate about promotions like that is they seem, I might be delusional. Maybe it's because maybe I don't know, maybe UFC actually is at such a higher level that it seems sometimes like fools are being a little lazy or coasting or not trying as hard as they could. Because when you get to a higher level, you start to get into those chess match kind of situations, and it doesn't look like as much of a blowout or like a slobber knocker. But when I watch other promotions, it seems like they try harder. It seems like they want it more. And it reminds me all the time. And like I said, I know I give you this example all the time. It reminds me kind of like of college sports, where they're still hungry. They're still trying to prove themselves, still trying to make a name. Whereas you watch like the NBA or something, it seems like fools are just coasting, throwing alley-oops, just trying to have a good time, keeping the distance all wide open just so they can have good plays and stuff like that. Where you watch like college and they're like pressuring them like crazy, not letting them do anything, not letting them in the lane. So I do respect that kind of thing about like Bellator and other promotions. Those fools just give it their all. They leave it all in there. Um, I always bring my scale if I'm on the streets. That's what I'm talking about. Like this whole weight cutting thing. Like, I mean, unless you're someone mobbing around with the scale in your hand at all times, just in case someone wants to throw down. I mean, if you're not gonna be like saying, step on the scale or we're not gonna do this, like I don't understand otherwise. A fight's a fight, a fight's a fight. But that is part of why I think they started to call it a sport. And I was talking about this the other day. Back in the day, it was no holds barred. It was ultimate fighting, and I know we still have that name and everything. Cage fighting, but now it's the sport. It's the sport of MMA. And I guess they had to go through certain hoops to get things legalized and everything, but it has also diluted it quite a bit. Oh, you remember that loyalty on cry though? The Tias from the Epic Fighting Championship? The old like May Young looking ladies, they need to come in and stir things up a little bit. Emmanuel Yarborough cut weight during that fight too when he lost his teeth. Emmanuel Yarborough lost his teeth? Are you talking about Taylor Tooley? I didn't know Emmanuel Yarborough lost his teeth too. I gotta do my homework. Oh, so you're talking about Taylor Tooley? Yeah, the fool from UFC One. Yeah, he's a big old actor. Um, that was one of my favorite breakdowns that I did. The one of UFC One, where I broke down how that fool was actually like a paid actor from the get, because he was in stuff even aside from Hawaii 5 He was acting way before that. He was acting Taylor Tooley. A lot of people recognize him from Hawaii 5 and forgetting Sarah Marshall. Taylor Tooley was acting before UFC One. A lot of people don't know that. And like I said, the UFC One breakdown video that I did is one of my favorites that I ever did. And I really, really dug into the ins and outs of the whole UFC One event. And one of the things I found was Taylor Tooley was acting before the UFC One event. So he was like, they found that fool's IMDb. They knew what they could do with him. That fool was a thespian. Bellator seems like WCW before the NWO. I can't tell if that's an insult. Did the, I can't tell. I think that's an insult. If you're an NWO fan, yeah, like that, David Capico. Also, like the young guys on the prelims trying to make a name for themselves. Someone says I hate the NBA. Yeah, I was just talking about it with someone earlier. Like I remember back in the and I've said it on here too. I learned somewhere along the way that I don't even think I was ever an NBA fan. I was a Kobe fan and a Shaq fan and an Allen Iverson fan and a Tracy McGrady fan and a Vince Carter fan. It's like when that whole era went out, I was like, I don't even know these fools. This is weird. And I don't know. I don't know. It's not the same anymore. It's not the same anymore. A lot of the big gigantic like NFL, NBA stuff like that, they seem like they just became more like a political vehicle than anything. Like I feel like it's not even like fools trying to win games anymore. It's more of just like another, just like all the TV shows and the movies and everything. It's just a vessel at this point, you know. Everything gets contaminated. NBA is such trash since the 3 second defensive violation. Oh my gosh. The 3 second offensive violation was bad enough. That was bad enough. But defense? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And it's the same thing they're doing in the UFC. The same thing. John McCain burned us, man. He burned us. No holds barred is just another way of saying, like, I mean, the phrase itself is kind of limiting because it's just talking about holds if you're taking it literally. But no holds barred basically means anything goes. Like nothing is off limits. James Smith, you want to hear your name in the chat? James Smith. Um, you're about to lose service. Are you driving up to the mountains, James? I remember when I was talking about it, Ordinary Pete. I don't know if you said that was your favorite one or that was the one that helped you discover the channel. I can't remember. But I remember when I made that UFC one breakdown, I was like, I feel like I'm onto something right here. This seems fun. I would like to break down more of like the old school stuff. And I've been doing that again lately. Yeah, so I'm talking about David Zimmerman. Old school MMA was awesome. Wanderlei Silva stomping on fools' heads. Fools get too emotional now. They don't want you to do stuff like that. That's what's up. That's where the MMA truth was born. I don't know. Does anybody in here know about bets? Someone's saying, what about people that place bets? Are they off? Do you get a refund? How does that work? I don't know how that works. Jesse on fire in the chat. What's up, brother? I have you streaming live on my live stream right now. We got stream inception. Stream inception. It's so dumb though. Just trucha Jesse on fire. Just make YouTube is crazy. The other day, I was stream. I'm sometimes it seems like YouTube, if something's on YouTube, even if the channel doesn't come after you, they'll try to burn you. I was playing something on one of my streams the other day, and they muted like my whole video. And I even sped it up. The pitch was all high. It was way different. I thought there's no way I'm gonna get copyright strike for this because I like changed it so much, and somehow they got me. And I know that happens sometimes. Like I was actually thinking of there's like certain fights and events and stuff on YouTube, and I was thinking it would be fun to stream those in my streams and like do fight companions to those. But YouTube has this weird like it's like an automated thing where it's like if it knows that thing's on YouTube, it just automatically burns you. It's weird. I don't know. I know we're always getting caught up for the dumbest stuff like this. I still don't get it. YouTube, instead of them being like, oh, here's creators on here getting us views for our platform and making us money, they're like, how do we burn our creators? How do we make their lives difficult? I don't get it. But thank you, Jesse on Fire, giving me that exposure. People on there finding out about the Mexican martial arts. I hope my channel doesn't burn your channel. If they do, it's not my decision. Juliet, love you, GM. Who is Kobe or Chamoyev? Thank you, Juliet. Thank you, Juliet. I know you. Chamoyev. I'm not a Kobe hater or anything like that. I was rooting for Kobe against Usman, and I was one of those individuals that's bold enough to say that Kobe was winning up until the judge stopped it all of a sudden at the last second because of his jaw, when he let him fight for the longest with his jaw messed up. But then all of a sudden he wants to stop it when the fight's already going to end anyway, and he could have at least let him finish the fight. So I'm definitely not like a Kobe hater, but I just think Chamoyev has just got too much. I think too much of a tool set. The attributes are just jacked up too high. And then just seeing what Usman did, I mean, he had good moments. I'm not even going to act like I thought Kobe absolutely was dominated the second time. But let me look at his last 2-3 real quick. I mean, Covington, I mean, as far as I'm confirmed, looks so good against Usman in the first fight. But just seeing how competitive it was in the second fight, and knowing that Chamoyev would just steamroll through and absolutely dominate Usman, I just don't think. I mean, I tell you guys often, MMA math is my strongest subject, and I just don't believe Covington has a chance against Chamoyev. I don't think there's any way. No way, no way. I'm not even gonna say it out loud till I look it up. All right. Someone's trying to play with me in the chat and make me think that someone passed away. Good thing I got Google on deck. Jennifer Maya won it. Jennifer Maya got it. Romero. I heard that he's gonna be fighting for a bout. Is that true? Is he a heavyweight over there now? Is he fighting for the heavyweight title? Man, I thought Whitey Fitzgerald said something way different right now. I had to rewind that. I thought I heard him say something else. Oh man. I was gonna have to clip that real quick, but that's not what he said. It's just my mind, apparently. People that place bets on the main event just get their bets refunded as if it never happened. What's up with Stanko? I don't know. I was just asking people earlier, has she been active as far as her actual job responsibilities lately? I don't know, because I was saying I thought it was very interesting that there was a Glory fighter here and James Krause wasn't there. He wasn't there supporting his boy. And I haven't seen anything from Laura either. So I don't know if she's just laying low or what. I don't know what's going on. But what I was going to say earlier, I realized I never got back to it. People were asking Olivia or Stanko, who's better? And I'm assuming you were talking about professional wise, like their jobs. And Megan Olivia is just, she's very professional. Also knows how to balance likability, very friendly and happy, knows how to like be relatable and stuff. But Stanko, on the other hand, it almost just, I feel like uncomfortable all the time when I'm watching her. And I mentioned this last time. Every time Laura Stanko is on the feed, I feel like I want to get on the phone and call her husband. I'm telling you. Every time I see Laura Stanko on any kind of event, I feel like I want to be like, "Hey, fool, come get your lady. Come get your lady. She's making a fool." It was like on The Godfather. Remember Fredo's wife? How she's over like the whole dance floor messing with everybody else, and Michael Corleone's like, you guys got to handle this. He's embarrassing my family." Every single time I see her on the feed, I'm like, "Hey, fool, are you watching this right now? You don't have ESPN Plus or what? It's humiliating. She's embarrassing you, fool." And like DC's my guy and everything, but like he's not doing any favors, you know? It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And it makes me uncomfortable to watch. And I just feel like I never feel that way when I'm watching Olivia. I feel like she's very professional and she does a good job, you know? The other one just plays. She just plays too much. She's trying to get my guy DC caught up. Or we starting rumors and stuff like that. And I'm glad you made it, NH Geek. I don't know how that works. I don't know why they take so long. I'm telling you, immediately when I close the feed, it'll send it to a lot of people and tell them that I'm live or that I just went live. I don't know. I don't know why they do it. I don't know what the method is, but it happens. I don't understand. They're not telling us what happened to Derrick Lewis. The only thing they made a point of telling us was that it was non-COVID related. I don't understand the point of that. I don't understand the point of that. I also got a homie that got stabbed 3 days ago. That was non-COVID related also, just so you know. I apparently that's very important to add to the conversation. Grandmaster Flash. Yo, GM, who's your favorite comedian? Oh, snap. My favorite comedian. I know this is such a easy stock cheap answer because it's like I promise it's not like, oh, who's the popular guy. One of my quick like easy answers is Dave Chappelle. Like maybe not in the old days when that fool was just like, I feel like in the old days a lot of his comedy was just like shock comedy. Like a lot of fools, like what can I say to just be so crazy and like, you know, whatever. I don't even want to get into that. But what I like about him now is like how he talks the truth on stuff. And he's one of the it's funny though, because when you watch Dave Chappelle, it's like I watched him for like an hour and a half and I don't even think he told one joke. But it's like he already has enough in the bank because you know how funny he is that when he just gets up and talks what's real, then it's like you don't even get mad. He's probably one of my favorite comedians to watch. Tony Hinchcliffe. I think it was his most recent special. Absolutely blew my mind. He might be my favorite current stand-up comedian, Tony Hinchcliffe. He's not afraid to, I mean, he doesn't pull any punches, just says it like it is. He might be my favorite stand-up comedian right now. Tony Hinchcliffe. I like Dave Chappelle. Maybe Andrew Schultz. I just can't stand how that fool's always laughing at his own jokes a little bit too much. Maybe Mark Norman. Those are like a few of my top favorite actives right now. If we're talking all time, definitely Norm Macdonald, way up there, maybe number one. Definitely Stephen Wright. Definitely Kevin Nealon. Kevin Nealon is hilarious. Kobe has a better cardio and slicker boxing. I mean, I believe that's true. I just think Chamoyev is going to smother him immediately. I think he's going to smother him, and I think he's just got that type of strength in his body where he's just going to be glued to him, and he's just going to out wrestle, out position. And people might get mad and say it's boring and he's another one of these fools from this part of the world that just wants to do that. Well, they'll just say that all day and night, but that fool's gonna win. I mean, that's just how it's gonna be. Um, I'm people think I'm strategically placing my weights in here. How you place the weights behind you like they're just for ornament. The ones under the chair. Look at the reason those ones. Can you see how they are? Hold up. I'm. I always forget which way I am. You can't. Oh wait, you can't see it the way. I don't think you can see them both. The way that they're placed. Oh dang! I almost knocked my table over. The way they're strategically placed the way they are right now is because I like to do push-ups with them sometimes, so I can grip the dumbbells, and then sometimes I do the push-ups and I pull the dumbbells up instead of just being flat on the floor all the time because I just do too many. You know, when you're hitting too many, it's not like ergonomically efficient. You know, so like I'm just trying to protect my wrist. So I was doing push-ups. I had the dumbbells right there ready to do them. Those are the little 15s back there. Those are the little 15s right there. This ain't that big either. It's just a 40. It's just a 40, you know, no big deal. It's just a 40. You know I pick them up like 15s, but that's a 40, you know. I got homies chilling with the 40s, and I'm over here putting in work with the 40s, you know. It's just a different type, one different type, kind of life, you know. I'm just trying to stay active. I am hitting those junior bacon cheeseburgers though, so I can't hate too much. I can't hate too much. But somebody was asking me the other day too. They're like, hey, what's up with this skinny barbell and these plates right here that don't even fit that? Like, what's going on right here? And I was telling them, I got like the most Mickey Mouse, like low budget setup ever. Like all my stuff is all messed up and unmatching. What I do is I take the weights that I have that actually fit the barbell, and then I fit these ones in between so they won't slide off. I have to hug them like in the middle. So all the weights that I have that don't fit that bar, I just squeeze them inside so they'll get stuck. Or else they will slide right off. I just gotta work with what I got, you know? Um Man, someone just typed in rotisserie chicken and now I feel like one. Sean Strickland is your favorite comedian? Hey, that fool's growing on me. I respect how he's not just afraid to tell it like it is. He's not afraid, you know. That fool's funny. Oh yeah, Ordinary P. Old Bill Burr was one of my favorite comedians. New Bill Burr, I don't know if it like I don't know if his wife is wearing a Bill Burr costume and goes up for him or what. I don't know what happened to that fool. I don't know what happened to that fool. I can't stand Sam Kinnison's comedy. Sam Kinison, we have Sam Kinison to blame for Joe Rogan. That's why Joe Rogan's comedy is, hey everybody, this is hilarious because of my volume. Isn't this so funny because of my enthusiasm? We have Sam Kinison to blame for that. I don't know if you know this. Him and some other fool, I forgot who, is like Joe Rogan's biggest inspiration apparently, and that's why he thinks just shouting into the mic is funny. Just like being inebriated, and shouting into a microphone that's comedy. That's comedy. Um, Hold up. Um, yes, thank you, Banadome. Please consider liking the video. If you will be so kind, it helps me out very much. One small click from you is a giant leap for my channel. Um, Kaz Hamza is Covington 2.0, better wrestling, better striking, better gas tank. He got a little bit tired on that last fight. I was like, oh snap. That last fight he did, I was like, I don't know if he's gonna last, but I don't know. Wait, I don't know. I don't know. I would like you to be right because there's some fools I would like to see him go against and not lose his gas. But he definitely had me concerned in the last fight. Covington has a better shot of beating Usman. Sad because I like Covington. Yeah, I think that he was gonna beat him in that first fight. I definitely agree with that. Okay, I think my air horn got a virus. Um, Unpopular opinion: ONE FC is better than UFC. You know what, Death Dealer? I feel like a lot of people probably actually agree with you. I feel like I see that sentiment quite a bit actually in the chat. That those are where a lot of the killers are at. I think it's just a lot of like fanboys and like these hype beasts that are like, no way, I'm forever gonna be like committed to UFC and say that UFC is better. But I think a lot of people feel that way as well. I appreciate that, David Zimmerman. I appreciate that. It's a product of overeating. It's a product of overeating. I should be like for real. I want to be like a welterweight right now. That's where I want to get back to. But I'm a heavyweight, and people didn't believe me last time. People didn't believe me last time. I weighed myself this morning, and I'm 214. I'm 214, and internally, I shed a tear because I want to be a welterweight. I remember when I was a welterweight, I felt good. I felt springy. I felt light, you know. But the good thing about being a panzon, when you gain weight, it makes you stronger, and like everything's like easy, you know. It's a piece of cake because I'm having a lot of pieces of cake, you know, and it just gives you that strength, you know. And I know a lot of you people probably think that this is a 10 right now because of the way I'm handling it. Nah, it's a 40. All right, it's a 40. But that's because of all that. It's all the Chinese food. It's all the cake, all the carbohydrates, the carbonations. It just does something to the body, you know. So that's the only plus I have because of all the stress eating, because of all the editing and stuff I'm doing. I'm always just like eating right here. I'm just downing the tampico, you know. So then it's like, you know what? I'm at least gonna get something out of it. So then I try to bulk up a lot. You know, it's dirty bulking season. So then when I finally when stuff starts to go a little better, and I could hire someone to like help me edit and stuff, then I'm gonna slowly go back down to welterweight. And now I'm gonna cry. Maybe I won't be able to curl like that anymore. I don't know. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods the other day, and there was a 60. There was a 60 pound, and I was like, shoot. And I wanted to buy it, but it was too much. I don't know if Michael Bisping is playing or if he's actually trying to say someone needs to get fired. Because he was saying right now someone should get fired because they were calling that an eye poke and they actually let him get away with it. That wasn't an eye poke at all. Yes, please consider liking and subscribing. You will be in good company. Someone just mentioned Eddie Bravo right now, and I was pretty happy about it the other day. After all these years, Eddie Bravo followed me on Instagram, and I was honored. I know a lot of fighters and popular people follow a lot of people, so it's not a big deal. Everybody follows everybody these days. But Eddie Bravo, if there's like one guy I would want to follow me and like the channel, it'd be Eddie Bravo. That was crazy. That's like a guy that I would want to enjoy my content. You know, that felt really good. I don't want to fight with you. What thing? Are you talking about the stream? No way. Are you talking about that long stream I was talking about? I don't even know how old this chat is anymore. You should be a 155er. You guys think I'm like 5'2" or what? No, I'm 214. I'm 214. But it's because I got really thick legs and I got like a thick upper body. Look, I'm not for real, I'm not a panzon. Look at I'm not a panzón, see? And I'm flexing. I'm flexing my stomach. I'm not sucking it in, but I am flexing. I'm not a panzón. It's because I got. It's because I got the that laffy taffy. That laffy taffy is right here. It's because I got that base, that low center of gravity, and then I eat too much, so I get all big right here. Look, I get all big right there. You see that? I feel like I don't know if the screen's big enough. You see what I'm talking about right there? It's just I don't know. I don't know. It's like I just keep going like that, and then I just go. I can't help it. But this morning I weighed myself and I was 214, and I was like, how I'm trying to do the math. I'm like, oh, okay, so I just need to lose like 45 pounds and I'll be where I want to be. But I could do it because I've been there before. I was there not that long ago, and I felt great. I hated my life because I couldn't eat what I wanted to, but I look good though. So this time, that fool actually did do something wrong. I think he got hit in the groin this time. I think he got hit in the groin this time. Um, Opinions on Andrew Tate. I can't believe how many people get upset with him. I can't believe how many people let it. He's obviously trolling. He's doing his thing, and people are falling for it. You can't trust anything on. Since we got the internet, you can't trust anything. The fool's a genius. He gets online, he says stuff to stir up people, make them mad, and now he's famous. I mean, he was a fighter for who knows how long, and nobody knew him. And now everybody knows him because he says some dumb stuff, and now he got famous. And now he's making money. Like, he's playing the game. He's like Jake Paul. The fool's a genius. So whatever he says, I'm like, fool, he's getting money. He knows how to play the game. Um, uh, um, yeah, Joe Rogan just ain't got good stand up. There's plenty of situations that I thought that Joe Rogan could be funny in. He's funny in a lot of his Mexican fight companions, in his fight companions, and in his podcast. There's funny moments, but stand up, it's like wow. Bill Cosby used to be one of my favorite comedians. The fool was quite a storyteller. But when you think about it, how sad it is, he was such a good storyteller on stage because of the stories that he was spinning in real life. That's what he was practicing in real life. Who was spinning tales for all of us. We didn't know what was going on. And I appreciate that, James Smith. Thank you. Thank you very much. Don Whitmore, you heard me from the kitchen? um, wow, I was way back. I'm way, way back. Let me catch up. Chuck Fury at FuriousComedy.com. I was on a mini tour doing 281 and couldn't watch live. Got to listen to you at the hotel after, like it was live, and experienced the sheer joy of Pereira ending Izzy. Thank you. P.S. Don't forget Richard Pryor, Chuck Fury. Yeah, you're on tour. Shh, you're living that life out there on tour and everything. I'm a dreamer. That's crazy. And I appreciate you doing that. I know it's way, way, way different watching something like a long stream after the fact, or whatever chunk you did watch. Streams don't have as much replayability as other types of videos, so it means a lot for you to do that. I'm glad you got to enjoy it after the fact. I hope your tour went well. I hope you continue moving forward and doing more and having fun at it. Look at you're a comedian, right? You're the one out there doing it. You're the one out there on the stage holding the mic. I'm not going to disrespect. Personally, I've never been the biggest fan of Richard Pryor's stand-up comedy, but I absolutely love him in the movies. I absolutely love him. Like the first one that comes to mind is Stir Crazy. One of my favorite movies of all time. Stir Crazy. If you haven't seen Stir Crazy, you got to scope it out. Google it. Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor. Nah. And that movie actually has one of my favorite actors of all time, if not my favorite actor, Gene Wilder. That is a hilarious movie. Much respect. Ordinary Pete's 235 right now. I don't understand. People were trying to do this last time when I was telling them how much I weigh. They're trying to tell me I'm not 214. If anyone ever told me how much they weigh, I wouldn't be like, nah, you don't. Like, what's the point of that? That's like if I tell you, oh yeah, fool, I got straight A's. I could understand you say, nah, you didn't. But you act like being 214 is an accomplishment. You think I want to be 214? That just means I ate too much Burger King. That's not an accomplishment. I don't want to be 214. You could have some of it. Mike Alfieri, I was 228. Now I'm 185. Do it. That's right. You think the Weasel will ever do a face reveal? I think it will kill his channel. I heard that in the old days he used to do put his face on camera and that he would even do like kicking tutorials and stuff. I don't know. Can anybody confirm this? Did anybody were you on his channel back in the day? I heard that he used to show his face and he would even do some like martial arts type of stuff and then he stopped. Um if Weasel ever did a face reveal, that's like a Usman not taking a roids day. um I'm getting down to 175, 214. Um, oh man, it skipped on me. Oh my gosh, I was way further behind than I thought. Oh my gosh, I'm way back. Whoa, hold on, let me try to catch up. I wanted to see some of this conversation. Fight commentary breakdown. Drink lots of coffee. That's what I do now. I can't. I went on this thing for like a couple years where I was drinking nothing but coffee, black coffee, black coffee, black coffee, black coffee. But when I drink it lately, it just makes me real like irritable and real like on edge and like like I don't feel right. I start to feel like shaky and stuff. When I drink my green tea, the matcha with all the caffeine and everything, I feel beautiful. But when I drink coffee, I just feel like I gotta put my head through the wall. I feel crazy. I don't know why. I think it just did something to my body. I don't know. Oh snap! Ordinary Pete. Now the other fool did a groin shot. Oh my gosh. These fools are trying to stretch this fight out. Eddie Bravo, huh? Boom! Gave him a knee right to the groin. Fight commentary breakdowns is 155. I'm jealous. Young Kong, did you watch Gringo Papi? I did. I did. I mean, that fool even has people within his own community. I forgot who it was. It might have been Tim Dillon. I'm not sure. I was watching some other comedians like try to talk about that without really talking about it, like they felt bad. But even people within his own community are like, he should have waited. Like, this is not good. This is not good. It's like he doesn't even have people on his own side anymore. Um, The Volkanovski tree trunk legs. I was born with thick legs. Is sometimes a pro and is sometimes a con. It's very hard to find pants. I will tell you that. It's very hard to find pants. I got very short, very thick legs. I gotta get the Kardashian line. I gotta get the Kylie the Kylie Jenner jeans. Um, the greatest obstacle is in the mind. All of a sudden, wait, what were you? That was like an hour and a half ago. All right, I need to just start moving. I just need to start moving forward. Um, grab the scale. You 182. Quit playing. I wish. I wish. I can't seem to stay under 200 pounds. Shout out to Burger King and local pizza shops for that. For reals. Um, that's flippity flop. I agree. You're talking about Andrew Tate right here. I agree. He's obviously playing up his personality. You can make a good video about him fighting Jake Paul. It will probably pop off. That could be fun. I'm just very, very hesitant of making long form videos these days. Because they don't get views. I do shorts and they get a lot of views, but when I spend a lot of time doing long videos and they don't get views, it's like, man, that hurts. I spent so much time on this. A short, I spend like a day on it and then it's out. It's like, all right, if it doesn't get views, it was just one day. But doing like a full length video talking about Andrew Tate and Jake Paul, it's like too much of a gamble these days, just the way YouTube is. Andrew Santino's funny in real life. Maybe. I watch him. I used to watch him on Bad Friends with Bobby Lee, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not down with that dynamic or what, but I don't know. The whole time it just seems like he's trying to like strong arm Bobby Lee and just trying to bully him, and just like it's a little too much. That's the one. Bill Hicks. He's talked about that before. How his comedy is basically a combination of Bill Hicks and that other fool that screams. What's his name? Something Tennyson or Kennison. Um, Selekus says Bill Cosby's my idol. Not the comedy, but the way he is. Oh, I period. Feel your white struggles, GM. What? Your weight struggles. Feel your weight struggles, GM. Got a comp coming up in just over a week, and I need to lose another 8 pounds. Pray for me. Oh snap! 8 pounds in a week. Oh man. I don't know how you do it. I remember it's dumb. I remember few years ago now. I was kind of like in this conversation where I was gonna get an agent, and I wanted to feel and look what I thought was my best and everything, So I was trying to lose and I did. I actually did it. I lost 31 pounds, and I did nothing but drink salad. I eat salad all day, every day. I was eating salad like 3 meals a day and just drinking like 2 liters of water, and then just like running on the treadmill, hitting the bag. And it's miserable. It's definitely miserable the first several days, but then after a while, it just becomes like your lifestyle. Like, this is what I do. Like, this is all I know. Like, I was doing it for a while. But yeah, if you only got a week, then yeah, that's like the amount of time you need to get over that hump. And that's like the whole time you're talking about right now. So yeah, that's going to be rough. That's going to be rough for the praying individuals. I period needs to be in that shape for his competition. We're there with you. We're there with you in any way that we can, but literally. GM, how do I lose some weight? I don't know. I've learned over the years that everyone's body's so different. What works for me might not work for you. But for me, it was just eating salads like all 3 meals a day. Salad, 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 salad. Just drinking water, 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 and then just a bunch of cardio. I know other people will say don't do that. Your body needs protein. Don't instead of cardio, do weight training. I don't know, but it worked for me and I lost a ton of weight. And then you have to drink water like to where it almost feels unnatural. You know, you're not drinking it just when you're thirsty. You're like, I was like chugging it just to get stuff going in my body, just kickstarting the body and just keeping it going, you know. For some people, gaining weight is hard, says Fight Commentary Breakdowns. Yeah, I know a couple people like that. And it's hard not to hate them. Um, but you know, it's not until you're in their really small body that you would understand their frustrations and how they're irritated with people that could gain weight real easy. Yeah, it's either side you're on, you always think the other side's better. You know, it's complicated, so it's tough for both sides. Yeah, Raj. Oh, hold up. The NBA is rigged. Oh yeah, Mind Smash finally started showing his face. That was trippy. Did anybody know that Mind Smash shows his face now? That definitely sounded like a cup shot right there. I thought it happened again. Who else hates Bert? Are you talking about Bert Chrysler? Are you talking about Bert Chrysler? I don't want to start talking about him if that's not who we're talking about. Um, I don't want to just start like going on this thing where I'm just hating everybody, but like, I'm, I personally don't. I'm not a fan of his comedy. I listened to quite a bit of Two Bears One Cave, and I thought he had a ton of funny moments. But a great deal of the time, it just seems like he's doing that squeaky, high pitched laugh and just trying to make his laughter the joke. And it's like, I don't think that's funny. I don't know. I'm a tough cookie. You know, I don't. There's most things that other people think are funny. I don't think are funny. So I might not be the right person to ask. I'm not very easy with my laughter. Um, Several people that know me personally actually think that I'm like maybe don't have a sense of humor because I don't laugh at many things, but it's only because I'm a tough laugher. It's got to be really funny to make me laugh. Fight Commentary Breakdowns. Have a great stream, GM. Gotta go. Keep up the great work. Hey, I'm glad you were able to spend any seconds here. Always an honor to have you here. Keep putting in that work. Good luck. Oh, come on. I wasn't born with thick legs, but now mine are pretty thick. At least I don't get a lot of stomach fat. Yeah, I was born with very thick legs, and then on top of that, I used to do a ton of leg presses when I got to high school. Um, I did like a stupid amount of leg presses, squats too, but way more leg presses. I got addicted to that machine. Do you think Penguin ZO is annoying? I think his voice is very annoying. I think his voice is very annoying. And there's a few YouTubers right now like trying to copy him, and they do like the same voice as him, and it's very weird because he's like so popular. Other people are trying to be like him now. Um, David Zimmerman, having big legs is awesome for the Thai plum and stepping side kicks. Oh yeah, that's my favorite kick. That's probably why the stepping side kick, the step through side kick, any kind of shuffle side kick. That's my jam right there. The side kick and wrestling, just picking fools up, and the big legs are underestimated. I think. Um, Who you got? Uh, Top G versus Jake Paul. I think Paul's dangerous, and Tate is a retired kickboxer. I think I said it last time without putting a lot of time and thought into it. I think just right off the beanie, I would have to say Andrew Tate would beat Jake Paul, and I know a lot of people will probably be surprised to hear me say that. But again, I might change my mind if I put more thought and time into that. But just based off of what they've done, what they're capable of, what their attributes are, I would guess without any further research, Andrew Tate. But I'd have to spend some more time with that if I'm really going to try to make an actual pick. Um, yeah, Andrew Schultz could get kind of. I mean, if he just wouldn't do all that, like that dude that's always, who's that dude that's also a comedian that's always just like riding his coattails on Flagrant? He's always like laughing at everything he does and acting like he's like way funnier than he is, just overdoing it. Like, yeah, it's like if Andrew didn't have that, he would feel so much funnier. But it's like the fools being around him and making it cringy almost makes him seem less funny, but it's not even his fault. Have you guys seen that creepy pedo-ish Tiger Belly clip that dropped today? Doesn't make Bobby look good. Oh snap! What happened? What did he do? I'm just playing. I'm playing with this. Where did he upload? Well, I guess the main Tiger Belly channel. Was it a short? Well, he doesn't even have. Was it on Instagram? I don't know. Did he take it down or what? I don't see anything. Where did he post it? Was it not from the actual Tiger Belly channel or what? Chris Farley, that fool was funny. He was funny. Um, Ernie B says, "Hear me out. Bring back the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Once every 5 years, no weight class, 20 million grandparents." Wait, what? Even unsigned fighters can compete if found competent. I'm down. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's ridiculous. The UFC got ruined. They're talking about Rumble Johnson right now. I do have some. I've been blessed with some pretty darn good bone density. I will say that. I will say that. I've been able to do certain things that I shouldn't be able to do. And I think it's attributed to bone density. Um, um, I want to get a bike, but I haven't been able to get into a position where I could do something like just go out and buy a bike. But at some point I would like to buy a bike, but I love jogging so much. I think I would still prefer to jog, but I just enjoy bike riding. It's so relaxing. I mean, I think you can still eat bacon, right? Bacon's pretty lean, right? I eat quite a bit of bacon. Maybe that's one of my problems though. I don't know. Oh, this fool says bacon makes you gain weight real fast. Well, for real, isn't it pretty lean? I know like a bunch of people that get on keto are always eating bacon. I knew people on keto they're eating like bacon and butter all day, losing weight like crazy. They're like eating bacon wrapped butter. They're doing a tribute to Rumble right now. Bacon is for men. Eating no carbs will make you lean if you're in a caloric deficit. Um, you need carbs for fighting. Bacon has no carbs. It's good for losing weight. I think some people are does like bacon doesn't have a lot of sodium, does it? I think people are just tripping because bacon sounds bad, like it has a bad rap, you know. People hear bacon, and I think in the old days, way more people thought bacon was bad, but lately, isn't it? Don't we? I feel like it was realized how lean it is. Man, eat some other stuff. Why bacon for real? I mean, but tell me why not though? Like I'm trying to keep my mind open, but like why, that's like if I tell someone, "Fool, don't eat chicken, eat something else." It's like, why am I telling them what to eat? I don't know. I like bacon. It's pretty good. If you're eating meats that are high in saturated fats, then you aren't gonna lose weight. Chicken will be a good choice. I do love chicken. I do love chicken. I People were tripping last time because I said I like chicken even more than beef. People were tripping. Um, Bacon is mainly fat, but these keto fools are eating fat like crazy. Lots of sodium in bacon. Pigs eat dorky. You like that? What? Did you Google translate that? Bacon is terrible for you. What? Who are these people? How is bacon bad for you? Bacon is fine if you take care of yourself. That's what I'm saying. I don't know who's putting out all this information on bacon. Why do people act like bacon is like heroin or something? Why do people think this? Bacon is not bad for you. I think this became like a I don't even want to get into that, but I think it became more of a beliefs thing than an actual dietary thing. Ch- Cherry X meals. What's rutting? Do you mean running? I don't. Or is rutting like a thing I haven't? Maybe I'm not that culture. What is rutting? Of a deer amount. Wait. Hey, are you playing? I think that was a typo, Cherry X meals, because I. Wait a minute. I just googled this, and I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and assume this isn't what you meant to say. People fell for the anti-bacon propaganda. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I don't understand the hatred. That's weird. I could understand, like, maybe if they're talking about like hot dogs, maybe. Like, I'm still gonna eat hot dogs, but I could at least understand it. Calories is calories. Calories in, calories out. Period. Period. Close at Yap more when hungry. That's what I did. Hey, this is a guy who knows. This is a guy who lost a bunch of weight. Fat is good for you. It is. People got confused with all the propaganda in the 90s. Fat free, fat free, fat free, no fat, low fat. Fat's good for you. You need some of that fat. Pigs have less parasites than beef. Okay, you want me to look it up? Is bacon bad for you? Bacon in no way, shape, or form is bad for you. There was lots of anti-bacon propaganda in the mid to late 90s, and lots of fools fell for it. You should eat at least 3 strips of bacon per day. That's what I'm talking about. Fools don't know how to use Google. Fools need to learn how to use Google. I'm telling you, it's right there. A couple clicks. A couple of clicks. I'm telling you, could change your life. Bacon kills. You guys are playing with me now. Bacon makes you rob banks and drink White Claw. If bacon identifies as healthy, it must be. Um, if you want to stay burning fat, eat protein before workout and carbs after. If you want to stay burning fat, eat protein before and carbs after. Okay. Can we stop doing fights at the Apex? I know it's boring. I'm 27. When I was in elementary school, they went hard on anti-bacon, anti-beef, and said only eat bread and grains. Oh my gosh. Are you from like Utah? Only eat bread and grains. People say bacon's bad for you and they need a box of pizza. I had a friend one time. I knew this one dude that would like get all like, man, he would get all offended. Like if you didn't, we had to. He wanted everyone to order cheese pizzas for him first. Like, hey, if you're eating a cheese pizza, don't even eat a pizza. That's straight up disrespectful. I can't stand it when I'm in a situation or there's like a party or a gathering or whatever, and fools are ordering cheese pizzas, and I want to send it back and be like, "Hey, fool, you know they didn't finish this one. They didn't. You gonna bring me some sandwiches too, with no salami or what? Are you gonna bring me a bowl of Lucky Charms with no milk or what? If you're gonna put a pizza in my face, with only cheese on it, then cut it up into sticks and call it cheese bread. All right? Don't call it a pizza. That's an unfinished pizza right there. Do your job. Put some pepperonis on it. Testosterone is produced from fat. Pizza and bacon are both terrible for you. That being said, bacon pizza is absolutely delicious. Um, 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 Cherry X meals. I meant to say routine, Grandmaster. Okay, okay. I'm glad we got that cleared up because I googled what I thought you said, and I learned some. I ended up learning something new today. Good luck with that routine. I hope you have that high energy and you get everything accomplished that you hope to. Glad that I could be here providing some noise in the background. Chuck Fury at FuriousComedy.com. Check out Dr. Anthony Chaffee. Hashtag Bacon Truth. Everybody, you got to open up a tab. You got to open up a tab. And then we're going to have to revisit this later. Dr. Anthony Chaffee. Anthony Chaffee. Bacon. I just see the quote from his video. It says, plants are trying to kill you. I like it already. Oh. Pizza Gate. What's your favorite cheap food? Oh man, I like I like too many cheap foods. I can't. I mean, I would just have to say my favorite food then and say Chinese food. Just say pot stickers just because that's my favorite food. But I like too many cheap foods. Hot Cheetos, chicken strips and fries, French fries dipped in nacho cheese, like small, like drowning in them, like in a whole bowl of cheese. Um, Pizza, burgers and fries. I like too much. Oh, that fool got knocked out already. Roberts got knocked down, and he looked like he wasn't going to really be in defending himself intelligently. But it looks like maybe he's just going to hang on to that dude's arm so he can't sock him. But yeah, Della Maddalena definitely looks like he's dominating this fool. Um, I like deep fried Crisco with birthday cake sprinkles. Oh my gosh. Do you like fish sticks? I don't like fish, or even if it's fake fish, I don't like even the illusion of fish. I don't want anything that's seafood anywhere near me. When I was a little kid, I used to eat fish sticks quite a bit though. And I just like dip them in ketchup like crazy. And I found a way to like them. I got used to them. But like these days, anything that even resembles or sounds like seafood, I don't want to have. I don't want it to be near me. Um, 5 stars for In and Out. I used to hate the fries. It was like eating cardboard, but they grew on me. And it's weird. I feel like a traitor. They used to be so nasty, but they ended up growing on me. I woke up and I was a vegan until breakfast. Banana bread is good. I hate seafood. I don't want to smell it. I don't want to look at it. I think it's nasty. Seafood's full of mercury. Yeah, that's just yeah. I'll go ahead and take that as one of my reasons. Um, I just like Shake Shack burgers better. The price at In and Out is better. I wanted to try Shake Shack when I went to Texas and I missed my chance. I was so annoyed. Well, it finally got stopped. Roberts lost. It finally got stopped. Philly cheesesteaks are all right. I've had some that I really really liked, and I had others that were nasty. It's not my favorite, but if you find a good one, it could be really really good. Yeah, pineapple pizza. I don't want that anywhere near me. You could throw that in the trash with the seafood. I love pineapples. I'll eat them straight out of the can, but I don't want them on my pizza. I don't understand that. It's like, are you gonna put pineapples in my tri-tip sandwich too? Are you gonna put them in my pork chow mein? Are you gonna put them in my chicken tortilla soup or what? Like, I don't understand the thing with the pineapples. Why do you think they belong there? The seafood industry is ruining the oceans. Oh snap! Um, Hey, Casimiro. Hey, don't feel too bad because Burger King is like probably my favorite fast food restaurant. Like when I actually get fresh McDonald's, it's a good contender because where I live, the McDonald's is always stale. They just always give like fries that feel like they've been sitting there forever. Cold burgers and stuff is disappointing. But even when it's fresh, it's just a contender. Burger King's the best. Don't be too sad. Burger King's amazing. That double whopper. And I don't like that Texas one where they put the jalapenos and the weird sauce and stuff. I like the old fashioned style, the classic style. Um, I will eat a raw fish. Dang it. I know Franken beans. Like at first, I was here like, you know what? I'm just gonna chop it up and I'm gonna have a good time until the main event. And now the main event's canceled. So now I'm kind of like, I'm not even really watching these fights. I'm just kind of just sitting here like, what are we even doing at this point? We're just kind of chilling for a little bit. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to the last fight. Are we even? Okay, so there's four fights left on the card. Okay, there's four fights left. So I'll just chill for like four more fights. We're just talking about food at this point. I just like to hear how you guys feel about this stuff. I like to go. I don't really talk to anybody about this kind of stuff, so it's good to get like this kind of feedback. Oh, bang the fish's head off the table and start eating. That's basically like what people do with sushi, right? Pineapple is a dominant fruit. I mean, I'll eat it out of the bowl all day. I do like pineapple. Something that I do that a lot of people think is nasty, and I don't understand it. It makes perfect sense to me. I don't do it every time, but I like to make myself bacon and eggs a lot. I do it quite a bit, like for breakfast. And one of the things I like to do is drip syrup all over it. I like to put syrup all over it, like if I'm at Denny's or something like that, all over my bacon and my eggs. And people that see me do that are always like, "Ooh, that's nasty," and I'm like, because I remember I started doing it at like IHOP or Denny's. I put it all over the pancakes, and then I started tasting it get mixed with other stuff, and I realized how good it was. Does anybody else do that? That's like one of my favorite stuff to do. Sometimes I put hot sauce, but I also like it with syrup. Taco Bell. Taco Bell is like the very bottom for me. I'm not a big Taco Bell fan. Um, what Burger King's? Well, I think I know. I think you mentioned the area you're in before, Ordinary Pete. Yeah, 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 yeah. So I don't know if you're like in the know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're in the know. I could see that. Like when you go to McDonald's and like Burger King and stuff like in Fresno. I don't know where at in the 559 you're at, but it's like, man, you go to McDonald's or Burger King or something like that in Fresno, and it's like the whole staff is like 12 years old. Takes like 20 minutes till anyone even remembers they have a front counter to come help you. Everything tastes all stale. That's what I'm saying. In like the Central Valley type area, like it's hard. That's why I'm saying when I get fresh McDonald's, it's like a different McDonald's. There's like normal McDonald's where everything's stale and cold and it feels all old. and then there's fresh McDonald's. It's like two different type of establishments. So I can see what you're saying about the area. That happens. Yeah, they go stale. It's dumb. Is yeah, they try to cook too much because they don't want to keep dropping fries, so they cook them all in a big heap of stuff, and then they just serve those till they run out for cars and cars and cars or different customers, and then by the time the last people get them, they're all old. I love rallies. I love rallies, and the people I'm with never want to go there. But I'm telling you, trust me. And then finally, we went one day, and they realized how good it was. Rallies is amazing. Furious, GM. What do you say to those fools that say Khabib only has 4 title defenses, that he didn't clear out the division or move to middleweight? Um, my my immediate gut reaction. See, I don't want to sound like Sean O'Malley or Brendan Schaub by saying that they're just a bunch of haters. I want to give something like more solid than that. I think the thing to consider with Khabib is not how many title defenses, not whether or not he moved. It was how dominant. It was how unbelievably dominant he was. It's like we've never seen that from anybody else that actually made it to a title, defended the title at all. Because some people might have made it to a title, never defended it. Some people look very dominant, but then maybe they got, a couple freak knockouts and lost here and there. But I don't think anybody has ever done it like him, as dominant as he was, as consistently undefeated champion. And it's like, okay, who are we gonna say at this point? Because people are running out of excuses. People do the same thing with Khabib that they do with Jake Paul, that they did with Pereira. It's like people like to make all these excuses after the fact when it's too late and make up all these hypotheticals. Who are we gonna complain he didn't beat at this point? Because all the people that thought Conor would destroy him, like now they gotta look for something else. All the people that he will kill him, he'll smoke him, his hands, his left hook, his butt. All the people that thought that Poirier was just too good of a grappler, that they thought that he was gonna be silly and jump the ghillie and all that, and then they thought that Gaethje was gonna come in there with his haymakers. Like there was all these doubts. Now they gotta look for something else. Oh well, he didn't fight Ferguson. Look, everybody's willing to do MMA math when it benefits them. But then when it doesn't benefit them, they want to call the people doing the math casuals, and they want to downplay it, and they want to talk down to them, and they want to disrespect them. It's all about whether it suits you or not at any given time. But if we're going to be honest and we're going to break down only what we're able to work with, because that's the way reality played out, what happened to Tony Ferguson? First, he got tapped out by a microphone cable. Tony Ferguson got tapped out by an inanimate object. That's what we already all witnessed quite a while ago. Then Tony Ferguson, I mean, that fool lost to like everybody on the roster at this point. So it's like, it's kind of pointless to even talk specifics at this point, because it's like, who do you lose to? Oh, he lost to everybody. He lost like, 4 or 5 in a row at this point? 5. 5 in a row. Has anybody besides Tony Ferguson ever lost 5 UFC fights in a row? Is that a new record? People, the only things they can say about him, well, what, he didn't fight Ferguson. We saw Ferguson lose to Oliveira, and we saw the fashion in which he lost to him. Now, let's do a little bit of MMA math right here. You know why? Because that's all you could do at this point. And if you're not willing to do it, then stop talking. Because you're either going to accept the Hall of Famer, the undefeated, the champion, or you're going to want to talk in hypotheticals. And if you want to talk in hypotheticals, then let's talk in hypotheticals. You're getting me all tripped up here. Tony Ferguson lost to Oliveira. And we saw what Makhachev just did to Oliveira. And I know there's some hype beasts out there that are already trying to jump the gun and say Makhachev is better than Khabib, and it's disrespectful. And I'm sick of seeing it. But Makhachev is like the low-budget Khabib, all right? And we saw what he did to Oliveira, and we saw what Oliveira did to Ferguson. So you want to talk about, well, he didn't fight Ferguson? Well, we didn't need him to fight Ferguson. We saw what happened. Oh, well, he didn't fight Michael Chandler. We saw what Oliveira did to Chandler. We saw what Poirier did to Chandler, and you saw what Khabib did to Poirier, and you saw what Makhachev did to Oliveira, and Makhachev is only doing a fraction of what Khabib would have done. I mean, there's nothing more that he could have done. Every other name you could throw out there. What about this? Well, yeah, well, let's do, like I said, if you don't want to talk MMA math, if you don't want to talk hypotheticals, then stop talking and let's accept reality, which is he's the GOAT, Hall of Famer, undefeated champion. But if we want to talk at hypotheticals, then you got to be willing to talk at hypotheticals. And when all these names that you could bring up, you gotta be logical and follow them to their logical conclusions and see how things played out. And that fool would have been even more dominant against those fools. As far as going up to middleweight, it's just a matter of your personality and what your goals are. That's a very new thing. That's a more modern thing when we're talking about MMA. I mean, once upon a time, you will be a champion and you're content just being a champion and destroying and dominating your division, being able to live your life, eating what you want, doing what you want. When you start going to different, I mean, it's hard enough to maintain one weight class and having to eat and train a certain way and live a certain way and plan your holidays and schedules and everything around that. But then trying to go back and forth, you could tell by Khabib's lifestyle, even just being in one division, and all the money he walked away from, and all the things that he won't advertise, and all the things he won't do and compromise on. He doesn't care about those kind of accolades. He doesn't care about trying to prove this or that to anybody, or trying to go above and beyond to get this accomplishment, or he doesn't chase that kind of stuff. If he did, he would be taking every penny that he could earn. He would be taking every sponsorship that he could get. He would be fighting as long as he can, trying to get more money, more fame. But he doesn't care about that. That started becoming a thing, and he wasn't into it. He didn't go with the crowd. He was some people buy into that, and they're like, I'm not going to be respected. People aren't going to, it's not going to build the kind of legacy I want if I don't do that. So they fall into that trap, and then it messes them up. Just like Adesanya tried to go up and he got humbled. It happens with a lot of people. And Khabib just wasn't going to be swayed by that. To him, it's like, what are you talking about? Why? This is my division. I don't even, like, what? Why? You want me to go be the double champ in tennis too? Should I be like the ultimate supreme athlete, be the double champ? I'm a champ in the lightweight division, and I'm also a champ in tennis. I'm gonna go to Wimbledon. Like, why? That's just a thing that people started forcing upon the fighters, and now they feel like they got to do it to be respected. It just wasn't a temptation to him. Matthew Elliott, Grandmaster, eat farm-raised food. It'll change your life. New Hampshire loves the GM. Hey, Matthew Elliott. I think for real. I think my air horn got a virus. Matthew Elliott. I've thought about it from time to time that if I ever become successful, that I would do stuff like that. That I would eat like more organic type stuff, farm raised stuff. Now I'm not gonna be like an annoying person that like puts it in my Twitter profile and stuff. You know, like a lot of people, they just go too far and they're like, hey, you know, my shoes, everything on my body, everything I'm wearing is made from maple leaves. And, you know, I'm not going to like, but so I don't want to confuse anybody. I'm not going to try to go all weird like that. But I have been very interested in going in that direction and just eating stuff that's like more taken care of and monitored, and they're not injecting a bunch of stuff into it, you know. I would like to do that if I ever get to that point. Thank you very much, Matthew Elliott. And ironically, you contributing to the channel like this is getting me closer to being able to eat that farm-raised food and change my life. Thank you, Matthew Elliott. You're helping me get healthy. Miami's still in the house right here. I was even thinking about BJ Penn when I was saying that, but then I was like, wait, am I confused? Because I know that fool also won a lot. But he was one of the people in my mind. The only thing I personally didn't like about Khabib was not rematching anyone. That's just a me thing, though. I appreciate you saying that. A lot of people will treat it like that's all there is to it. That's the end all be all. So I appreciate your open mind and your opinion. But my take on that is his performances were so dominant. Even in ones like against A La Quinta that went to the end, I mean, I know people feel certain ways about it because they have certain defaults, how they feel toward Khabib, good or bad. But if you actually sit there and watch it again, like don't think about it for a second. Don't even say one word to yourself about it out loud. Just sit down and watch it from start to finish. I think you would see nothing but dominance from Khabib because I know when you try to remember things, you kind of play it in your mind differently, especially if you have like a bias. But I think because of all his performances being so dominant, that's like for what? That's a waste of time. That's a waste of a camp. That's a waste of me having to eat and train a certain way and build my life around this just to beat this guy again. Like, nah, I'd rather get different names under my belt. I could understand that. Then on the other hand, you have situations like the way that Rose knocked out Wei Lee, and you're like, I think this needs a rematch. I need to see like if this one thing wouldn't have happened, who actually is the better fighter? How would it turn out if she didn't get caught with? So I could see that. That's something that should be considered. But I'm just saying, if I'm thinking from Khabib's perspective, why would that happen? And I felt like I even heard him kind of express that before. That he was so dominant over certain people. Like, why? Like when people were talking about Conor, whatever, he's like, what are you talking about? Have him win a couple fights first. Like it was so dominant. Like, why would we even do that? Um Ray, would Tony's career have gone a different way if he didn't take the Justin fight? By the way, apparently Derrick was in a state of being too hot, and that's why he pulled out. Um, I don't look. I know it sounds like I'm just being hard on the guy, but I don't think anything would have gone any better for Tony Ferguson if he didn't take the Gaethje fight. I really don't, because I mean, it definitely didn't do him any favors. But if his next fight was still going to be Oliveira, it wouldn't have mattered one bit. And then you still look at the fights after that. Dariush, Chandler, like he's just on a trajectory where he was going to lose those as well. And here's the unfortunate thing for Tony Ferguson. He gave his fans so many unbelievably exciting fights. The fans said just bleed, and he said okay, and he fought hard and he took beatings and he gave beatings and he bled and he got injured, and that's why people loved him. But that could only last for so long. So what he did is he made people absolutely love him because of how he fought, but it ended up backfiring. So he just put himself in a very tricky situation. He made people absolutely love him because of that style, but it's not a style that he could have stuck with forever. So I think it was going to come to get him either way. Derrick Lewis, yeah, we're still waiting for an update. No one has wanted to say for sure. There are speculations, but no one's wanting to say exactly what it is. There's a headline that says Twitter reacts to Derrick Lewis's UFC Vegas 65 hospitalization, and in quotes it says, "These are dark days." I don't know whose quote that is. I don't know who said that. Um, As expected, the mixed martial arts community was not happy with the announcement. We're all wishing a speedy recovery for Lewis, but it's a brutal hit on a combat weekend lacking depth of any kind. I mean, I know that made the card boring, but that's a pretty cold way to look at it. We're all wishing a speedy recovery to Lewis and everything, but it's a brutal hit on a combat weekend lacking depth of any kind. Fool, this guy's probably in there about to die or something. And you guys are like, man, what a brutal hit on the combat weekend lacking depth. Like, can you think about yourself anymore right here? Man, like I know that we're like clowning and stuff and upset that the main event is out, but we don't know what's going on with this fool. And I'm not trying to put anything bad on, like not trying to make it worse than it is, but look at what just happened with Rumble. That just shows how like cold people could be and how quickly we forget. Look at what just happened with Rumble. Just happened. And then we're like, and I was doing it too. I was guilty. We're just cracking jokes. Like we just turned around right away. We're cracking jokes. We don't know what's going on with him in the hospital. Now, if I find out that like his big toe got sprained or something like that, I'm gonna be laughing. I'm gonna feel stupid later. But like we don't know what he's dealing with, and everyone's just like, "Oh, how boring! Oh man, my weekend is ruined." That fool's laying in the hospital. Matthew Elliott. Matthew Elliott trying to get me that farm raised meat right here. Khabib or Jones for the GOAT. Well, before I even finish, I think you're playing with me. I think you're trolling, and I'm gonna just go ahead, just for the sake of accuracy, say Khabib, and then I'll continue. I'm torn, but NH wants your input. New Hampshire, this chat is for your farm raised meal, my friend. Yeah, thank you. Woo, I'm gonna get the purest chicken I ever had in my life. Look, I mean, this could be a much more in-depth answer, I'm sure, but it makes it easy to just say that fool cheated. He's a cheater. He has the mentality and the lifestyle of a cheater and just a bad dude. If the fire, look, and I mean this, if we started with UFC 1 and it just went forever up until today, and it was just, you know what? These are fighters. These fools are animals. Just expect them to go in there, maybe juiced up, maybe not, and don't cry about it. These are fighters. This is what they do. They're crazy human beings. Leave them alone. Some of them are going to be on stuff. Some aren't. That's up to them. Keep your mouth shut. Enjoy the fights. If that's how stuff was, I wouldn't even trip if people were on steroids, because you know what you're getting into as a fighter. Some people are going to be doing it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But some people are, and you can't say nothing about it. That's how it was. I still wouldn't say John Jones because, and look, I want to be as accurate as I possibly can be right here when I'm saying this. And I know I don't even need to do this because I think at this point, probably the majority of people will agree with me. I think this has gone on long enough that the people that were diehard John Jones fans are finally starting to be a little bit more down to earth. But when we're talking about, so look, this is what people remember about John Jones. This is what people are like, wow, they're like the best, the greatest, unbelievable, impressive. When we're talking about Ryan Bader, when we're talking about Shogun, Rampage, Machida, Rashad Evans, Balfour, Sonnen, when we're talking about all these names, you got to remember this was pre-USADA. I can't remember what video it was. It might have been my breakdown video of Khabib and Gaethje. Maybe. I'm not positive, but there's a video that I did. No, I don't think it was that one. I can't remember which one, and that's frustrating. If you remember somehow, if you magically, impressively remember which video it was, please put it in the chat. But I made a video like months and months ago. And at the end of the video, you remember how a while back there was this beef with like Khabib and John Jones, and they were going back, and John Jones was always like on Instagram Live talking about how he's the GOAT, how's Khabib the GOAT, I'm the GOAT, I think was it right after they made Khabib pound for pound? It might have been right after the Gaethje fight. And at the end of the video, I addressed how all of John Jones like super Hall of Fame impressive fights where he has all these Hall of Fame types of names under his belt, all these impressive names that everyone's like, that's why he's a GOAT. Look at all these names. These guys are GOATs. That was all pre-USADA. All pre-USADA type stuff. That fool was going under the radar, doing whatever he wanted because nobody was monitoring him. And then right after that, he fights Gustafsson. And everyone's like, oh, I'm pretty sure he lost that. Pretty sure he lost that. At least enough people to make this conversation very interesting. He's dominating. He's beating all these legends, pre-USADA, and then USADA, and everyone's like, I think he lost. After that was Glover, and however you felt about that one, that was a decision. Okay, so when he's on pre-USADA, he's beating Bader, submission, Shogun, TKO, Rampage, submission, Machida, submission, Evans. Okay, that was a decision. Belfort, submission, Sonnen, TKO. But then you get to Gustafsson, decision. Everyone thinks he lost. He gets to Glover, decision. He gets to Daniel Comet, decision. He gets to Ovin St. Preux, decision. He gets to Gustafsson. Okay, he got his revenge. He figured him out. He gets to Anthony Smith, decision. And remember, in case some of you guys forgot, John Jones could have lost that fight. That could have been a disqualification because I forgot what it was. Didn't he knee him in the face? Cheating. Smith could have been the champion. Smith just absolutely went off into that Dominic Reyes trajectory after that. It's an unfortunate thing that happens with John Jones sometimes. Smith should have and could have been the champion, but he was like, I don't want it like that. John Jones should have lost that by DQ, but Smith was like, nah, I don't want to go out like that. So then, okay, Thiago Santos, a bunch of people were like, I'm pretty sure Santos won. That was a split. Dominic Reyes, everyone's like, Dominic Reyes won. It's too like, what are we doing here? With Khabib, it was dominant, never a question, obvious. With Jones, it was like, no USADA, disqualification, no USADA. I think he lost. Pretty sure he lost. He should have got disqualified. Pretty sure he lost. Definitely lost that one. There's no comparison. People are just blinded. It's just a bunch of fanboys. It completely discredits people when they just go hard on the Jones thing. It doesn't make any sense. Thank you again very much, Matthew Elliott. They didn't say what's wrong with Lewis. All they said was they said everybody, we got bad news for you. The fight has been canceled. Derrick Lewis had to pull out. He's in the hospital. It's non-COVID related. By the way, I don't know why they had to tell us that. We were talking about that earlier. Hey, my homie broke his arm. It's non-COVID related. I don't understand the necessity to insert that. It doesn't make any sense to me. David Capico, y'all are tripping. The GOAT ain't Khabib, Jones, DJ, or Fedor. Y'all are forgetting about the OG Ken Shamrock. Man, I love Shamrock. And for real, I feel like you, David Capico. I feel like I have kind of like a alternate memory of what actually happened. I go back and it's like, man, that fool kept losing, but he was like my favorite. I love Ken Shamrock, but it just too often didn't go his way. Ordinary Pete says, I got a lot of thick hair still for my age. I could lose some for ripped abs. Oh, snap. Is there a correlation there? If you get more abs, do you get less hair? How does that work? Or are you talking about getting like on TRT or something? Is that what you're talking about? Ryan Holiday. More plates, more dates did a bit on John Jones. Apparently, his testosterone levels were that of an 88-year-old man. What the heck? Is that what happens when you take too much steroids or what? How does that work? David Capico. And all of those legends were past their prime and left for Ballasnor so shortly after. That's a very important thing to consider right there. Something that the John Jones fans completely bypass. Oh, man. Salikov is throwing some spinning stuff. It got stopped. Fialho just wasn't defending himself anymore. He's kind of contesting the stoppage, but he just wasn't doing anything. He was just letting himself be a punching bag. Not another John Jones hater. Fool, give me some facts, though. It's like Adesanya fans coming here and they're just putting like salty. Give me, use your words. Use your big boy words, though. Don't just say salty. Don't just say hater. Tell me why John Jones is the best. Tell me why all the pre-USADA wins against old dudes who went to Ballasnor right after doesn't matter. Tell me why that's not important. Tell me why it doesn't matter that his most significant, gigantic, big wins against big names, but was pre-USADA. Tell me why that doesn't matter. And tell me why all those fools went to Bellator right after. Doesn't matter. And tell me how come after USADA, all his fight style and everything completely changed and went to decisions, most of which people thought he lost. Tell me why in an articulate, intelligent fashion, why that doesn't matter. No one can ever do that. That's what always happens when you push people. When people shout, well, this is how it is. This is my truth. This is the way it should be. This is what the world needs to do. This is what America. Well, tell me why, though. Articulate it, because I feel like you're just going off of emotion right now. I'm not just yelling. I'm not just screaming right here. I'm telling you why. Matthew Elliott. Thanks for the breakdown, GM. Angela and Matthew, love your knowledge. Oh, my goodness. Matthew and Angela, I appreciate you very much. You're going to be making me so healthy. You know how much, what's it called, steroids I got running through my body because what they're injecting into these rotisserie chickens? Angela and Matthew, you got me so healthy. Well, not yet, but as soon as I start eating it. Thank you. I'm more than happy to share this knowledge with you. Thank you. You're going to have my brain operating on an even higher level after I'm eating clean. Thank you. After I finish this jug of Tampico, oh, it's so sweet. Oh, I'm going to be eating so clean in the future. Thank you. Aziz, any thoughts on Ryzen versus Bellator event? I didn't know that was a thing. Ryzen versus Bellator. I tell you guys all the time, you guys are so much more in the know with the stuff in the MMA world than me, because I'm always over here trying to finish editing videos, and you guys are over here being able to see what's actually going on. Bellator MMA versus Ryzen and Ryzen 40 is an upcoming mixed martial arts event being co-promoted by Bellator MMA and the Ryzen Fighting Federation on December 31st, it has to be on New Year's Eve at the Saitama Super Arena in Saitama, Japan. I didn't even realize they probably don't care about New Year, huh? Because in Japan, don't they celebrate? They have a different. They don't even have the same New Year as us. They have like the Chinese New Year. They celebrate it. Did they say he's a kung fu? He's a kung fu artist or what? Man, that spinning kick was so accurate to that fool's midsection. Dang! And then he threw a beautiful one to the head. This dude is a great technician with his strikes. I noticed that through the entire fight, his hands and his feet, he just landed everything so beautifully. Man, I want to make sure I say that guy's name. He's Muslim Salikov, just super talented dude, just landing so beautifully everything in that fight. And I thought I heard him say that he does kung fu. Sanda. So he does Sanda. Isn't that like Sanda? Yeah, it is. Sanda, formerly Sanshao, also known as Chinese boxing or Chinese kickboxing. Oh, the official Chinese kickboxing full contact combat sport. Chinese boxing. That's like from Return of the Dragon. Do you know Chinese boxing? Stephen Thompson and Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's gonna like stop a robbery the week before and hurt his thumb or something. Watch. But I mean, I'm probably not gonna get to see it, Aziz. I'm probably gonna be like with family or something like that. We'll see how that goes. But I think it's very interesting that that's happening. Like just seeing that, just seeing Ryzen versus Bellator is kind of shocking because you think of the UFC and it's like, man, I don't think Dana would ever do something like that. I don't think he would ever be willing to do that. So weird. He just likes to have such a monopoly on everything. Like he would never allow it. Well, look, someone says John Bones, his fight IQ is off the charts. He has the ability to adjust and adapt to his opponents. Let me give you an example right here. Like, I had a I had a nephew that was playing soccer, and I remember I would go see him at practice sometimes, and he would just run circles around everybody. Like literally, like while they were playing, he would just be running around the field. And then whenever he decided to, he would come in, he would be defending, he would be kicking the balls out away from his goal, he would be scoring. I mean, depending on what position they had him in. I don't care if they have him way back at middle, I don't care if he's up there a striker. That fool was a goalie one time and he scored a goal. He was a goalie and he scored. I'm looking at Chase Sherman's shadow boxing right here. Excuse me. But and then he would play in the games and it would just like shut down. And like he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't active. And I was like, what's going on? Like I was trying to give him a pep talk, like, what's happening? And I could never figure it out. He would dominate in practice. But then at the games, it was like I was watching a different person. I didn't understand it. And then I realized that the fools that he was practicing with on his team were no good. They didn't have any talent. So that's why that fool was in there looking like Pele, you know? And then he'd get into a game and he'd be facing some actual competition and it was a different story. So when you're talking about John Jones fight IQ, like let's remember what I just said. John Jones was fighting dudes that was already over the hill. John Jones was fighting dudes that he was watching as a high schooler all excited when he was trying to come up, when they were in their prime. But then he comes up all roided out, and it seems like he has a fight IQ. He's always one step ahead because he is. Literally. He's faster. He's stronger. He's younger, fresher. His mind is sharper. He's on the flight to the event, doing the Sudokus and everything. That fool's staying sharp. These other fools are already counting their money. These other fools are already trying with their side hustles, starting their post-fight career businesses and whatnot, the used car dealerships and the colognes and the hot sauces and stuff like that, the things that people do. John Jones is still trying to come up, fighting the people that he was fans of on their fights right before they go to Bellator. John Jones is beating people during their swan songs. That's why he appears to be so much ahead. That's why people are talking about his IQ this and IQ that. Yeah, if you put John Jones on the corner of 10th and 9th Street and you have him just fighting every Sally-Go-Lucky or whatever that cross paths with him, yeah, he's going to look like he has a fight IQ because he's just fighting bums, you know? But it's when he fights actual talent, where you put him without the roids against people that are on the same class as him, the same era as him, and then he's facing up-and-comers. You put him against Gustafsson, you put him against Smith, you put him against Santos, you put him against Reyes. Where'd that fight IQ go? That fool's not just playing with people. He's not playing with this feud. He's trying not to die. You, especially against Santos and Reyes. That fool almost ran as much as Adesanya. The only type of IQ I see coming into play is being smart enough to keep running for his opponent for 5 rounds. Waldo Salsa Boy, Cortez Acosta. um, I do the jumble. He's still top 5 even with PEDs. You can't. You can't be top anything with PEDs. You can't be top 100. You're out. You got to go stand outside. You're out of the conversation. Anderson Silva, you're out of the conversation. You don't count. You're out. And look, I'll acknowledge this. This does make it very complicated. This is where it gets weird. I go back and watch the earlier UFC events, the ones when there were actual fights and they were exciting and all that kind of stuff. And you know there was fools roided out. And we don't always know who was who. We could assume, but that's not fair. We could assume, but that's not fair. See, you see me over here just picking up the 40 like if it was a 5-pounder, and you probably think, oh, Grandmaster's all roided out, you know? And I just make it look easy and everything, but that doesn't mean anything. You could look at old fools from back in the day, they were all ripped and shredded and everything. I mean, oh, that fool was roided out. You don't know. Maybe that fool knew Matthew Alliott and Angela. Maybe they were eating clean. Maybe he had the hookup. Maybe he was just eating farm fresh. He was just doing those reps. He was staying loyal to his schedule and his training. He wasn't going out and eating like a pig and drinking and doing all this stuff. We don't know who is roided out. People do that too quickly. They look at fools who look built. Roids. You ever see that? On YouTube. I always see that in the comment sections. Sometimes I'll watch videos of like workouts and stuff, learn some different things. I'll see people look all ripped and cut. You just see, oh, TRT, roids, juice, PEDs. It's like a bunch of haters in here. People don't know what it's like to put in work and get big. People don't know what it's like, all the suffering and the pain that you endure to get contracted with that scoliosis. People don't understand, so they just start hating. So we don't know who was on roids and who wasn't. That's where it gets confusing, because I talk about fools I love, like Shamrock, Mark Coleman, bunch of different people from the past, you know, Dan Severn. And I know a lot of those people be like, well, obviously, like, you're dumb if you don't know they're on roids. Some of them we know they were. Some of them admitted it. Some of them, it came out in one way or another. But that's where it gets confusing, because I will admit, some of my favorites that I would put on my like Mount Rushmore or whatever are people from the past, people that probably were on roids. So that's where it could get a little bit hypocritical. So I do have to consider that. I will say that because I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to be dishonest about how I feel about it, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Arthur. You have a good point. If you take out everyone who did roids out of the top 10, who's left? Well, Khabib's up there. And then after that, who cares? We'll see. Um, um, what makes you think John Jones was on roids? Because the science. What do you mean? The facts. I mean, like, it's just logical. Like, if we know that he was on John John Jones was stupid enough to be on steroids during USADA. Are you trying to tell me that you don't know he was on roids before USADA? You think John Jones was like, oh, wait a minute. Now we got like this world-class high-tech thing testing us to see if we're on steroids? Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing steroids now. Now's a good time to start. Are you kidding me? He was obviously doing it all along. Stetson Moore. I'm glad they finally did it. I'm not happy about it, but I guess it's better than later or never at all. Grandmaster Flash, you're just an intelligent individual. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, but I congratulate you. Some people just have a hard time cutting through all the hype, you know? People have a hard time cutting through all the hype. What is going on right here? I was going to say people have a hard time cutting through all the hype, but I don't, because of my trusty Mexican martial arts knife that the homie Zach Hughes made for me. Look at that. The MMA colors right there. Zach Hughes, the homie Zach Hughes, handmade this for me. It was forged through the fire. Zach Hughes made this for me with his bare hands. It's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty. That's how I cut through all the noise right there. Checa Montalvo. Hey, it's all good, Yuri. It happens. We not everybody can agree on everything, you know. Not everybody could agree on everything, but I'm gonna be here patiently waiting until everybody comes around. I'm gonna do my part. Yeah, that cocaine too. He was, I mean, anything he could find. He's like a little toddler, like a little puppy. Everything that he could find laying around, he's just gonna shove it into his body. Nightlight 13. I don't even know what you're trying to say at this point. Are you promoting his use of drugs now? You said yourself post USADA, all his fights were tough. So why wouldn't he choose to use to stay on top? I Are you saying what I think you're saying? Like, duh, of course he used them. That's the smart thing to do. I don't even know what to say to you at this point. Like you're agreeing with me now without realizing that I think. Michael Fieri, I'm on TRT, but the gym lost me the 40 pounds that and calorie conscious thing. Oh, for reals, you're on TRT? How does that feel? Did your head get bigger? Isn't that what happened to Joe Rogan? There was a TRT, right? Are you scared? I would be all nervous about that. Thank you, old man still can. Yes, I was very oh look, and I want to show love to the sad addict. The sad addict with the I got the butterfly knife, the butterfly corn, the elote knife. He's he made it for me. I'm ready. I'm ready to go over here. I'm ready for battle. All day Stetson Moore, all day. No, this is very sharp. This is very sharp. He definitely spent quite a bit of time sharpening this. I have cut some things in front of people with it, and they're like, "Oh snap, that's sharp." Aziz and Khabib and John Jones comparison comes down to this: is committing fouls, illegal strikes, eye pokes, and using PEDs relevant? That's what I'm saying. When you get into a conversation with people and you have to let them know that's where they stand. And so, look, if you're a John Jones fan and you think he's the best, we just got to get. Are you okay with the fouls, the illegal strikes, the eye pokes? Yeah, the knees and stuff like that, PEDs. If you're okay with that, then I guess we could go into the conversation. Now, look, if you're talking about like UFC one, if you're talking about street fights, and you could hit people wherever, you could eye poke them, you could fish hook them, you could be on any steroid you want. That's different. That's different. But then it's just like when people talk about BJJ. When I tell people how dumb it is to try to do BJJ in a real fight because you're gonna be helpless on the ground and people could stomp you out or whatever. And then I say, well, people, you're not in a IBJJF tournament or whatever. You know that, right? Some fool could just bite you and loosen your grip. Some fool could just shove his finger all the way into your eye and pull it out. And then the BJJ people are always like, well, I could bite him too. Well, I could stick my finger in his eye too. Okay, good. I'm glad you said that. Because if we're talking about illegal strikes, eye pokes, PEDs, and people are always trying to talk about John Jones being better than Khabib. Okay, well, maybe let's let Khabib illegal strike him. Let's say when Khabib smothers him, takes him down, he could relentlessly hammer fist him to the back of the head. He could shove his fingers all the way up into his eyes till it reaches the back of his head. He could fish hook him. Khabib could be all strung out on PEDs. Like, there's no world in which it's fair for John Jones. It's a lose-lose. For real, ordinary Pete, I was already thinking, is YouTube's gonna have something to say about this? YouTube's gonna come after me for this? Are they threatened? That is a growth hormone. Oh, that's HGH. Okay, so it's because he takes both. Man, you scared me, Michael Pierre. Dang it. Imagine GM's head on TRT. My headphones don't fit me anymore. Um, yeah, Franken Beans. I thought this day was gonna go much differently. I thought maybe we are gonna see something crazy, some kind of an impressive knockout, some kind of a highlight, and the day changed quite a bit. And now we're just chilling. Now we're just talking. I think it's the camera. I don't know. It's because I'm not. It's just it's density. I'm stocky. I'm stocky. People never ever ever believe how much I weigh because I don't got like a gigantic belly or anything like that. People never believe how much I weigh. Every time someone asks and I tell them, they're like, "Nah, get out of here." I'm like, "Fool, do you think I want to be heavy? Is that something that people brag about? Is that the new like how tall are you? Who wants to be heavy?" Um, Cortez Acosta's throwing the hands. Sherman's trying to get in close so that he can't strike him anymore. If Herb Dean was in the ring, he would have stopped that. I heard HGH could make your organs bigger. Oh snap! Is that why Joe Rogan's stomach started like protruding? Did you ever see that video where he was doing like sober October? I think it was 2 3 years ago, and his stomach like comes all crazy out like further than Michael Chandler's. It's weird. Like maybe everything inside his body's growing and pushing him out. Um, what the heck? um, Isaiah Diskin. Thank you for joining the YouTube membership. Scope the community tab so you could get into the Discord. I don't know if you're a Discord user, if you're interested in that, but you could get into that and join the Mexican martial arts community. Oh, it's the carnivore diet that does that to your body. All right, cool, Isaiah. I hope you have fun in there. Joe Rogan has palumboism. Insulin can cause that. What is that? Let me see. Palumboism. Palumboism, abdominal distension in bodybuilders resulting from the abuse of human growth hormone or insulin. Oh, that's what they call roid gut, huh? His stomach sticks out all weird, and it doesn't even look like fat. It just like it's weird. Well, here's the weird thing. If you're on a carnivore diet, because I'm not trying to be like anti-carnivore diet, but if you are on a carnivore diet, um, if you're eating bad meat, like if you're eating meat that Matthew, Elliot, and Angela would never eat, that have like a bunch of hormones and like stuff that they inject into it, that could almost be like you're taking steroids yourself, right? And that could actually mess up your body. So it's weird. It's like you might not even ever take steroids, but if you're eating foods that they injected steroids into, then maybe you end up getting the roid gut. That's all messed up. Are you talking Ordinary Pete? Are you talking about that dude? What's his name? Gordon Ramsay, that BJJ dude that's all yoked up. Does he have the Roy gut too? Timothy Ellsworth, I'm glad you were able to make it. They only waited about they only waited about 2 hours and 35 minutes to let you know that I was live. I don't know. Somebody was saying Ordinary Pete was like, "What about that BJJ guy? That has it but hasn't talked about it. What's his name? The real dominant guy." And I thought it was Gordon Ramsay. Oh, David Capico said Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan. That sounds familiar. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That was the excuse that Canelo actually made. And everybody laughed about it, but the more I think about it, can't that actually be a real thing? And someone says that's gonna be John Jones' next excuse. Can't you eat so much meat that actually had hormones and stuff injected into it that, like, I mean, literally, like, it's technically in your body now. So can't that be found in your system? I mean, that's messed up, but can't that actually work? Someone says no, that can't happen. How not? It is very weird that we don't see more knees to the head from the clinch. Very, very weird. It's almost like there's some kind of unspoken understanding or something like that. The ref is just watching Sherman die. I lost 50 pounds this year, and I could definitely see the temptation of taking EPO to speed up the process. Oh, man. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. If food didn't taste so good, then it would be different. But that's not the reality that we live in. The substance you're talking about is clenbuterol. What Canelo got popped for, I've literally just finished the cycle. Oh, dang it. Why are you doing that? Grandmaster Flash, listen to GM, friends. Listen to GM. He has much wisdom. GM, what is your favorite martial arts movie and favorite overall movie? Oh, no. Oh, you put me on the spot. Oh, oh man. My favorite. Oh man. My favorite martial arts movie. That is a tough one. That is a tough one. My favorite martial arts movie. I feel like my stock answer is always Return of the Dragon, a Bruce Lee movie. It's that one where he comes to help his family's restaurant. But I might like Kickboxer just as much with Jean-Claude Van Damme, the original, of course. Um, but yeah, one of those. I'll probably just have to stay loyal and say Return of the Dragon, Bruce Lee, maybe. It's just such a good movie. So many good fight scenes in there. That's the one where he fights Chuck Norris. It was just so influential to me. Being very very young, seeing that. Um, Bruce Lee. I mean, I'm just like everybody else, unless you're way way younger than me and you grew up watching like Machida and John Jones and stuff like that, and that's what got you in. But my era, that's what got me interested in the martial arts, Bruce Lee, and watching movies like that. Return of the Dragon, Chinese Connection, Enter the Dragon. So I'll have to go Return of the Dragon. My favorite movie. Um, I've said it before, and I know some of you already laughing because you guys are trying to clown on me for it last time. My favorite movie of all time overall is The Wizard of Oz. And if you haven't seen The Wizard of Oz from start to finish, then keep your mouth closed. All right. If you just know what it is, but you haven't seen it, then don't even say nothing. But that's my favorite movie, and a close second. Sometimes tempted to even say my favorite, but close second. The Godfather. Godfather. And Nacho Libre is like the closest runner up possible. Jacob, 4848, member for 10 months in the 499 squad. Hey, Grandmaster, what's your opinion on Michael Pereira? I think he's a dark horse of the welterweight division. Oh, Michelle. I always forget how to. I mean, I feel like when you watch him fight, that fool, the way he moves, when I my feelings on that guy is like kind of how I felt about, and I always talk about them. They're always my excuses. Michelle Watterson and Holly Holm. Those are two people that they're probably the best examples for me of people that I was really big fans of that constantly kept letting me down. And see, I'm looking at his fight record right here. The last 5 in a row he's won. The last 5 in a row he's won. And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes as far as like matchups. I don't know if he's ducking anybody. I don't know if negotiations aren't going right. I don't know if he doesn't cut promos good enough. But I'm like always rooting for that guy. He always looks exciting. I'm always wanting him to win and climb the ranks because he seems like someone that would be fun to root for. He's always fun to watch. But like, I don't like I can't hold it against him. I guess because like he's been winning, but it's like he's easy to forget about because I don't know how at this point he's not much higher in the ranks. Like I don't want to be disrespectful to some of these people, and to some of them I don't care. But when you look at like Michael Chiesa, Jorge Masvidal, Stephen Thompson, Luke, even it's like why is Michelle Pereira 14th? So it's like I'm a fan. I like his style. I like the dude. I like his attitude. But I'm always just like forgetting about him and like not even having him in the conversation as far as like who's gonna be running the division, who's gonna be winning, who's climbing up there. Because it's almost like he's perpetual like bottom rung, and I don't know why. And again, it's nothing that he's done. I would root for Holly Holmes. I would root for Michelle Watterson. I would root for El Mero Mero. And it was like these fools keep breaking my heart. Like they keep letting me down. Pereira, it's a different story because that fool's on a winning streak, but it's like I want to see him up there contending. And either he has bad management or he's taking not the strongest fights, or I don't know what. I feel like he should have climbed way higher at such a better pace. And I don't know what's going on with that fool. I don't know. But when I looked him up right now, it says he's only 29. For real, I thought that fool was in his 40s. I was absolutely shocked when I saw that it says he's 29. I 100% thought that fool was in his 40s. I can't believe he's only 29 years old. That is absolutely shocking to me. That's absolutely shocking. So I guess he still has some time to fix this. But I do like that fool. As far as a dark horse, I guess there's like no better way to put it because it's like, where is that fool? Is he even in the rankings right now? Is he even in the top 15? He's like often forgot of, I feel like. The thing I don't like, I had a phase where I was like absolutely obsessed with Jet Li movies. But the thing I don't like about Jet Li and Donnie Yen movies is just the special effects is just too much. It's too much. It gets too goofy. And I know, like, yeah, there's in every movie, there's moments in Bruce Lee movies where there's a moment in Fists of Fury where he straight up he's standing there and he's looking at some dudes across a chain link fence, and the chain link fence looks like it's like 8 feet high, 10 feet tall. Like it's way taller than him. He has to look up at it, and he straight up whoop, jumps and like jumps over it. And it's like, this is some like Harry Potter type nonsense. What is this? So like in the old days, they did some weird, questionable stuff like that. But with these Danny Yen, Jackie Chan type movies that are like way, way, way more, it's all good, Jerome Madison. It's all good. YouTube's not letting fools know. When they're in an era where they could be doing things much better and much differently, and they're still just special effects. It's like, come on, this ain't fighting. This looks like floating ballet type stuff. Like I don't know. I know it might be a beautiful thing to watch, and maybe it looks entertaining, but sometimes I just had too much with the special effects. I just want to see dudes standing on the ground, not flying around, throwing stuff that looks real. Yeah, same thing here. Same thing here, old man still can. Same thing here, old man still can. That's where it starts. That's where it starts for some of us. That fire gets lit. That's what's up, David Capico. It's the best. The flying monkeys. Don't even tell me some of you fools didn't have nightmares. No, I no, I'm not a musical guy. I don't like musicals. I happen to like The Wizard of Oz. And it's completely incidental that I absolutely love Grease as well. It's absolutely incidental. It has nothing to do with me being a musical guy. Only two musicals ever in my life that I liked. Nooksu Cow. Have you seen the Pink Floyd Wizard of Oz video on YouTube? No, I have not. What the heck? Yo, from the 30s. I believe it was the first movie ever in color. You gotta watch it, Syracuse. You gotta watch it. The Wicked Witch of the West versus Michael Corleone. That's a celebrity death match right there. Dark Side of the Rainbow. So you make music then. What does that mean? Because I like Wizard of Oz? I've kind of made music. I guess you could say that. Close second is the Lost Boys, Goonies, and Sling Blade. Hey, Ordinary P, what did Tiger Belly post? I couldn't find it. What did they post it on? I didn't see it anywhere. Did they take it down? Sling Blade is my favorite martial arts movie. Hey, thank you. Son Unique 209, I appreciate you. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Like if you're asking me, like, okay, you got to be specific about what's your favorite Godfather movie, though. Which part? Maybe clump 1 and 2 together. I don't know, but if I had to pick, I might go with 1. Marlon Brando. I mean, I don't know. Like I might be open to agreeing that maybe number 2 is a better movie. Maybe it's a better. I don't know. But if you ask me, what's my favorite? What am I? I'm probably gonna go with 1 because I gotta have the Don in there. I gotta have Don Corleone in there. There's so much action and so much that goes on in part two, though. Like, no, like they're like this, but I gotta have the Don in there. I gotta have him in there. I can't leave him out. Such a such an important part in there. Saginaw, Miami, staying in the house. Dang, I didn't even know that Fialho fought 5 times in his first year in the UFC. He should get some kind of a bonus or something for that. I didn't even know that. I saw Kung Fu Hustle. I saw Kung Fu Hustle. Somebody rented it when I was like in high school. They showed me Kung Fu Hustle and I thought it was dumb. I hated it. And I remember I loved around the same time, I loved Kung Pao. So it's not like me not being like down for that kind of humor or whatever. Like I absolutely love Kung Pao, but I remember I thought Kung Fu Hustle was dumb. I thought again, I thought at some point maybe giving it another shot and seeing if like my sense of humor changed or whatever. But I remember in high school I hated it. I know some chords and stuff, but I'm not like a virtuoso. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the old one with Gene Wilder. Yes, yes, that's one of my favorite all-time movies too. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. That guy was the best. One time I was trying to, because I've done it a lot. You know that thing where Gene Wilder's walking with the cane, and then he does that roll on the floor, and then he stands up. One time I slammed my head so hard on the ground, hurt for days. Oh, what's the martial arts movie you talked about where a dude with no legs teamed up with the no arms guy? Oh, are you talking about the video that I did with McDojo Life? If you guys don't know, me and McDojo Life were doing this series of videos where we were doing like a mystery science theater type of thing. And we were watching these old classic kung fu movies and we were like commentating on them and just chilling and talking about them. I think that's what you're talking about. I think that's the one you're talking about. Eric Woodson, yes. Yes. What's your favorite Scooby Doo movie? I don't think I've seen any of them. Are you talking about like the ones with Freddie Prinze Jr.? I didn't watch none of those. I mean, obviously, I was rooting for Pereira, and obviously, he's a beast. But I also want to be true to how I actually feel, and I don't want to just hype him up. I really don't think he's gonna be champion for a long time, unless he like absolutely dramatically, crazily, just excels like rapidly than we've ever seen. His grappling, like he's gonna have to go the Nogano route. You know how he got dominated by Stipe Muchacho at first, and then he worked on the grappling. If he doesn't do that, he's just gonna get out grappled to a decision by somebody. If you're asking me, I've seen Police Story. I can't get into Jackie Chan movies. It doesn't even feel like martial arts. It just feels like acrobatics. And the storylines are always so slow. Oh, Police Academy. Yeah, those movies are bad. Those movies are cool. I haven't seen them since I was like in elementary school, probably. So I don't remember much, but I remember I loved them. Have you seen Police Squad with Leslie Nielsen? It had like a super short run. I don't even think they finished the first season. That is where the I think that's where the Police Academy movie stemmed from. I think that's what actually influenced it. Hold up. Police Squad, it was blah blah blah, many a spoof of police procedurals and many other television shows and blah 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 blah. it was canceled after 6 episodes and yielded the Naked Gun. The Naked Gun film series came from the show Police Squad. If you ask me, like any of you guys that actually like to laugh and enjoy comedy, you know the Naked Gun movies are hilarious. I know they're not for everybody, but if you have the best sense of humor, you like them. Those came from a series that only aired 6 episodes called Police Squad. Look it up. If they unless they took them down, all the episodes are on YouTube. One of the funniest series I've ever seen in my life from Leslie Nielsen. Police Squad. It was, and then those are the same people, David Zucker, Jim Abrams, Jerry Zucker, the same people that made Kentucky Fried Movie and Airplane. Yeah, those the Police Squad. If you get the chance, you should watch that. It was hilarious. I never wanted to like. First of all, I never liked Kung Fu. I saw it when I was little, and I thought it was boring. The one with David Carradine. And then when I got older, and I read a book and realized that they actually stole that idea, and David Carradine stole the role from Bruce Lee. Then I was happy that I never liked it. They ripped off Bruce Lee. Um, were you a theater kid in high school? Nah, look, I grew up in a time and place that we looked at theater kids a certain way, and I'll leave it at that. And I thought like I was too cool for that, Like, no, I'm not gonna be one of those dudes. Theater, being a theater kid was not accepted where I come from. But then here's what happened, and I'll keep this story real short because I'm not the only one at the pad right now. Um, there was someone in the theater club that I thought maybe would be interesting to be affiliated with. So I ended up joining the theater club just for that reason, and then I ended up participating in some other activities just to play the game. And the lady was like, "Hey, you know how to sing?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Hold on, let me do this on the piano. Can you follow me along?" And I was like, "Do do 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 do," and I was doing all that. And then yeah, I ended up with like all the solos, and then I ended up starring in a couple plays and everything. But like it was only because I was trying to, play the game, and there was this person I was trying to become affiliated with. And that only lasted for like 2-3 weeks anyway. But then I stayed in drama, and it ended up being kind of fun. It was funny. It was funny. Um, Play a C major chord like that. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. Um, do you like reggae? There's like two Bob Marley songs that I like. Aside from that, no. I would have to say no, I guess. Um, Pereira called out Masvidal, but he never responded. Well, he knows what's up. That makes a lot of sense. I was not in Guys and Dolls. I was not in Guys and Dolls. That is for sure. Um, Jerome Madison, I found you about a year ago and lost my father in May. Your content kept my head raised and laughing. I appreciate what you do for us. Jerome Madison, I'm very sad to hear that. I'm sorry for your loss. Never, ever, ever, ever easy. I mean, if you actually know somebody and care about them and love them, some folks probably try to fool themselves and try to disconnect because that makes it easier. I I lost someone quite a while ago, and I learned apparently the way I deal with it is by like disassociating and acting like I don't have feelings, and I know that's not healthy. And it's like in my brain, I kind of like allowed myself to forget that person ever existed, and I know that's not healthy. and I'll probably deal with it at some point. But I'm very sad to hear that and for your loss, and just thrilled and honored that I could do even this much for even like a couple minutes a day to just try to be a distraction, Like when I'm feeling down and I'm frustrated and stressed out and stuff, I know there's stuff I like to sit down and unwind with. It just makes me feel a little better, takes my mind off it, distracts me. So I never take that lightly. If there's even a chance that I'm actually able to do that for anybody else, that's a big ol' honor. So much love to you and your father, and I just hope you continue to go through and be strong. Do what you got to do to keep getting stronger and keep some joy in your life. Thankful for you being here. Oh, I love the MMA holes. I say it all the time. Before I started streaming, they were the ones that I was watching. They're very, very entertaining. I don't know. Ordinary Pete said that Tiger Belly posted something sketchy. That it was a bad look for Bobby Lee, and I was like, "What was it?" And I wanted to see it, but I couldn't find anything. Or maybe I did see it, but it just looked like old school, like classic Tiger Belly stuff, and I can't even tell the difference. Yeah, kick combo. I mean, yeah, I think that's how. I'm not trying to. All I'll say is I watch Tiger Belly for Bobby Lee, and whenever there's not enough Bobby Lee and there's more of other stuff, I'm like, all right, let's get back to Bobby Lee. That's the way I'll word it. um, what's your favorite Marvel movie? I don't like Marvel movies. Yeah, I didn't even keep in mind the correct answers to say they're all trash. I don't even look at those like movies. They're awful. I don't like that kind of stuff. It's not even like a movie. It's like a special effects seminar. Where do I get merch at? I mean, there's really no place. I have a Teespring store, but I don't even promote that right now because they jacked up the prices and my profits are like 4 cents per sweater. Right now you could buy like a $42 hoodie and I make 4 cents. It's like you're paying too much and I'm not making anything. So I need to figure out what I'm doing. Okay, clearly I need to go way past. I'm way behind in the chat. Oh, um, another movie I like a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. An absolute favorite is Dances with Wolves. Dances with Wolves is a masterpiece, absolute masterpiece. David Capico, GM, what are your thoughts on coconut and coconut flavored stuff? Currently rocking out to some coconut, almond, and fudge ice cream. I hated it when I was little. I hated it. I hated it. But I started to really love, like, of all things, glazed donuts with coconut on top. I remember one time, I think I was just feeling a little bit frisky and I was getting like a dozen donuts. I was just trying to fill a box and I fell in love with it. So I could get down with that. I could see that. Fudge ice cream, I'll never like. I think fudge ice cream is like, yeah, I think it's pretty nasty. It's nothing I could ever get down with. The almonds might make it a little bit more edible, but and maybe the coconut berries the fudge ice cream flavor. I'm not sure, but I could get down with coconut on some stuff. Have you ever seen a grown man naked? Only in the mirror. Um, the old Three Stooges content. Yeah, like if you're talking about like what's my just favorite media, Three Stooges. Like if it's TV shows, movies, anything on video, like that's my go-to. If you just say sit down and watch your favorite best thing ever in life, I'm gonna watch the Three Stooges. And if we're talking about Champ, get that out of my face. I'm talking about Curly. Um, I love the Three Stooges too much. What about scary movies? I don't really enjoy scary movies. They're just not my thing. But I remember when I was real little, I was very much exposed to them, and it's weird to say, but I remember like Chucky, like the original one. I don't even know if I ever saw any past the first one. Freddy Krueger, Halloween. I mean, I was kind of into them. My favorite was probably Chucky. It was pretty freaky with all the voodoo and seeing that little thing running around. It was pretty trippy. I probably had to say Chucky. It really roped you in, because the mom and the kid and just being really worried for them, and because like a lot of the other ones, it's just a bunch of like teenagers goofing off and up to no good, getting killed, and like they probably deserved it. But like Chucky was like the innocent boy and his single mom, wasn't it? Blazing Saddles, definitely. Huckleberry Harrison. Police Academy was back when we thought OJ was a cop. Dude, it's so funny even in those movies. But hey, if the glove fits, and it didn't, I don't know. I don't know. You can fake it. Anybody can fake it. I don't know. I don't know what side I'm on. But it's crazy. It is crazy going back and seeing that. I mean, a lot of people look at OJ like that now. Isn't he out right now? Isn't he a free man right now? I know a lot of people are always like memeing on that dude. And he's always like on Twitter and they're like goofing on him. He's free right now, right? I'm pretty sure I saw him like doing some funny stuff on Twitter or something. Isn't he a free dude right now? Um, OJ OJ Simpson. Yeah, that dude's just chilling right now. He does like old like dad joke kind of stuff on Twitter. He's always like being a funny guy. Like he's still trying to go back to those like police squad days and be a funny dude. He's just like, let's just forget the last several decades happened. I'm gonna go back to the funnies. But yeah, you gotta scope out Huckleberry Harrison. You gotta scope out the show. You gotta look out Police Squad. That fool's out. He was clearly out. Kuda Kudalaba knocked him out and then woke him back up. He knocked him out and woke him back up, and that dude was just staring. Keith Peterson was. Dominic Cruz is like, where you at when I needed this? No, I said the name wrong. Netchukua. Netchuku. I don't know how to say that. Netchuku knocked out Kudalaba, and then he woke him back up, and then he knocked him out again. And Dominic Cruz is like, where's this Keith Peterson when I need him? Grandmaster Flash, GM, our tastes are so similar. I like westerns and dances with wolves. Fire. Question: should we limit the amount of time on screens, or is it just quality, or is it just about quality of content? Bonus question: what's your favorite musical artist slash song? Oh, dang it. Oh, I might get some hate for this, but I think it should absolutely be limited. Absolutely. Um, I not only see it in children, but I've absolutely seen it in my own life. How just being in front of a screen too much is bad for your brain, is bad for your body, is bad for your behavior, is bad for your interactions with others. Especially for someone like me, being so much of an introvert, being so antisocial, TV just feeds that. And just, 18 hours a day of gaming on the PlayStation feeds that. And it's like, I don't need any other human beings. I don't need to talk to fools. I have so many games right here. Like, why would I talk to anybody? And clearly, I mean, this is all that should be said right here. When you look at the things that are on TV, when you look at the movies that are being made, and when you think about who's making them and what they're trying to push, at a certain point, you realize that it's just nothing but indoctrination. You're just watching and watching and watching and watching all these things that have been just absolutely perfectly molded to tell you what culture needs to be right now, what society needs to be, what you should be doing, how you should be living, what you should be accepting, what you should be calling right, what you shouldn't be acknowledging as wrong, how you should like it is absolutely trying to mold brains. I think we need to get outside. I think we need to go out and look at the stars. I think we need to go out and smell the grass, climb trees, and play catch and ride bikes. I definitely think it should be limited. I love watching certain things. I enjoy it very much. So I'm not acting like there's not movies and shows that I like, but I think we need to learn how to get away from it sometimes. And then when I think when you are in front of it, then yes, it's absolutely about the quality of the content as well. Do you realize what these people are putting in between the lines and what they're feeding you, what they're doing to your brain? Are you able to see what they're trying to do? They're not just trying to entertain you. What's your favorite musical artist / song? I will always just say as a default, the Beatles / John Lennon. I will just always say that as my default. That's just gonna be my easy question. What I listen to probably more than anything like nothing will ever replace that. I'm always gonna say Beatles. That's unchangeable. But like what I listen to probably more than anything today, like right now, on a daily basis, when I'm doing things around the house, when I'm editing, whatever, I probably don't hear any band more than Radiohead. I absolutely love Radiohead. Um, yeah. What's your favorite song? Ooh, what am I don't know. Um, the first song that comes to my again, my whole life, my default stock answer was always "Twist and Shout" by the Beatles. Always John Lennon's voice just shredding. That's like my default, my stock answer. What comes to mind when you ask me that right now is probably like "Through It All," maybe by Andre Crouch. Another song I like a lot is "Sleepwalk" by Santo and Johnny. By you know the song that comes on La Bamba. I could listen to that song just on loop. It gets me all emotional. I'm telling you, it gets you start to feel stuff. Um, it's a beautiful song. And then so many Radiohead songs could be like my favorite song. Their songs are just unbelievable. You know what's my favorite Radiohead song? Maybe it's the one and it's a short song. Oh snap! Did they not write it? Because someone else did a cover. There's a song by Radiohead. Um, is this the right song? I think it's called Fog. That might be one of my favorite songs ever. I love when it comes on. I always have it on Pandora. Let me see if this is it. Yeah, that's it. It's by Radiohead. It's called Fog. If you never seen it or listen to it or whatever, man, just sit back in your chair, just like close your eyes. You're gonna get emotional. I'm telling you. It's called Fog by Radiohead. It's man, amazing song. Bad Bunny. Yeah, John Lennon had some funky fool had some funky beliefs. But I could listen to that fool sing all day. You know, that fool he didn't like his voice, so often he used a little bit too much reverb, double tracking and stuff like that, so it could sound a little bit robotic at times. But when that fool just sings raw, man, there's nothing like it. Climbing Up the Walls is one of my favorite Radiohead songs. You didn't even say you were here, Sadati. You didn't even tell me. I listen to all their songs like all day. but I don't know if I know the names of them. Oh, I love that song. Yeah, I love that song. Oh man, I love when that song comes on when I'm driving. That's a good driving song right there. Um, I listened to Radiohead back in 1999, 2001 when I was depressed too. I'll tell you, that's my playlist right now. Radiohead. Um, oh, what's the name of there's this band that I just started listening to like crazy. Um, they're really good for that, you know. Oh, what's their name? Nirvana too, of course. A lot of Modest Mouse comes on the station. Interpol. That's what I'm thinking. Like when you're just in that state, you're just like Radiohead, Nirvana, Interpol. It's all good, you know. Little bit of Led Zeppelin. Um, all right, my stomach is starting to eat itself. I'm very hungry. I'm starting to get headaches. I want to thank everybody for being here today. It was a weird card. Not only was it all early and it wasn't even really exciting from the start, but then the main event got canceled. Look, it was disappointing. It's not the main event that we wanted to see, but you know, hopefully that dude's all right. Hopefully it's not nothing that serious. Hopefully he comes out of it. You know, life gets real. Stuff happens like with Rumble, and it's all jokes until it's not funny anymore. So hopefully he's doing all right. Laura Stanko's right here in the post fight, so she is working. I thought she was on a hiatus. She's right here making eyes at Anthony Smith. That fool's trying hard. He's like, I don't even know. I got these. I only have eyes for. Like he's not even trying to look at her right now. Laura Stanko, acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. You're making it even more suspicious. Speak out about it. Let us know what to think. What's going on? You got to speak up. That fool's just trying to wait till the next news cycle. You need to let us know what's going on. Just trying to pretend like none of this happened. You're just making it even worse. That's why you're never going to be Karen Bryant. All right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm working on a video. It's not a short, but you know, I'm not gonna say much. I'm not gonna say much. You could comment on it when you see it, but it's not a short. It's not a short. All right. I was thinking maybe I was gonna edit after this, but I'm feeling a little bit wiped out. Maybe I'll feel different after I eat something. I'll probably upload it Monday. But in the meantime, if you haven't seen my recent uploads, please consider going to scoping them out. If you're new here, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. Helps out the channel. Thank you very much. Thank you for spending some time here with me. It was very fun. We found out what we like to eat, what we like to watch, what we like to listen to. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Late. Go listen to Fog by Radiohead. And then after that, listen to Climbing Up the Wall.